That's fine. No biggie, no biggie.
Yeah.
Dude, check out this freaking shirt my wife got me.
I I saw that shit right off the bat. Who got you it?
My wife. So I think it was
Yeah.
supposed to be like a Christmas present or something, but she just couldn't wait to give it to me. So I'm like, oh hell
I,
yeah.
I didn't see like the bottom part of the writing, but right away I was thinking Freddy Krueger right away.
Yeah, on the back of the shirt, it's got the writing that tells you that that's the Freddy song. You know, the whole 1-2 thing. So I'm like, oh hell
Uh-huh.
yeah. That's freaking killer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see anybody in just yet, but like I said, we're still before 7, so it might be a couple minutes. Yeah, about another minute or so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm tired today, man.
You're tired? I
I've
don't think
been
it's
working
gonna
and
be I don't think it's gonna be a crazy long strain. Maybe about an hour, maybe 2 hours if we
yeah,
can.
yeah.
But I think the first hour, like I said, is pretty much updates and conversation, whatnot. The next hour is just basically just hangouts.
What happened?
All right, so
I'm choking. I'm choking on the weed.
you know, there's a store that's like not too far from my house that sells THC and all that stuff.
Uh,
Actually, when I was at Liquor Barn a few weeks ago, they actually had THC drinks, and I think I actually have a couple of those left over in my icebox. They taste horrific,
oh yeah.
but it look like energy drinks. So I'm like, okay, let's jump on this.
Because weed is legal where you're at or what?
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, so it's not real THC. It's that synthetic, or I don't even know what they do nowadays, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, they sell at the liquor barn. So I mean, I don't know if there's like a percentage that they use or something or whatnot, but
I don't really understand it either. It's some I don't know, something's not in it, so it's like there's like some kind of loophole. But it's not. I don't think it's like the real thing, you know.
cool, cool. But shoot,
I
man, I
don't
need
know.
to come down. Actually, my wife says that weed is illegal in Illinois, and I'm like, you know what?
Uh,
I think I might go back to take a trip to Chicago just to visit some family. Yeah, that's the reason for my trip.
yeah.
Hey, Carrick, welcome to the show, buddy. I appreciate you joining us. All
Well,
right, so good. All right, looks like we do have a few people in the stream, so I think we can begin. So, guys, I'd like to welcome you all to this Wednesday live stream. Again, we are joined with special guest star Bone Breaking Action. Today, guys, we are going to hit on what I call the 31 days of horror. So, for me personally, each day for the next month, I am going to watch a different horror movie. And from there, we could, or if you want, we could actually start talking about any MRW updates, poster design, action figure releases, stuff like that. So I will let you take the floor if you have a preference.
you got a bunch of updates. I'm not even too sure what's going on with the Major Wrestling.
All right, cool. Let's start off with the poster because I think the poster is going to be one of the most interesting aspects of the design. So I got a few more comments here, so I'm going to answer some of these real quick. All right, so we got a Carrick in here. We got Kane who says, "Yo, real quick, can you all multiply your age?"
Was that?
He says, "Can you all multiply your age by 365? That's how long you've been alive. Roughly, I'm at over 10,000 days." Yeah, I don't know if. Wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. Let me see. 365 times 10, 30. So 6, 9. Shoot, I'd be about 12,000 days or so, approximately.
I'll tell you that marijuana and math does not mix, so I'm not even going to try on that.
Uh, Kristen says, vapist. I
There's
don't
a
get
whole bunch
any.
of names that I don't usually see going on right now, huh?
What for the comments?
Yeah, in the comments, like I don't see none of the regular people. These are all people I've never seen before.
Yep. So that's awesome. And I'm seeing that we got about 18 people in the live stream right now, which I think for me is probably the most I've had at one time. So I think that's amazing. Guys,
Yeah,
everyone, everyone that's been tuning in today, thank you so much. I want to start off with the poster though, and for you guys in the comments, I will come back to you just shortly, but I do want to hit up the poster design. So what I should have done is actually bring out at least one LJN poster so that we could kind of go off of the design of what MRW is going to look like. So I know originally this right here was basically supposed to be the design, right? This was supposed to be the original poster. Each one of us got our own card, our front of the card, which was going to be the poster design. But I've decided that that's probably not a great idea. And I think you would pretty much agree that going off of the original LJN design with the blue poster back, even going off a black poster, is probably a lot better than the carding that we're using, right? So yesterday I sent you a quick photo shot that I put together. Obviously it was just a rough draft, not anything that's going to be serious, right? But here's the thing. There is a guy on Facebook. I found him a couple weeks ago, and he was selling LJN style posters, like real poster paper and whatnot. And he took like all your Series 5, Series 6 LJN original posters, all the live action posters, and he moved them to the blue Wrestling Superstars poster, gave them the cartoon caricature. So now you got Bam Bam Bigelow, you got Strike Force, you got Ted DiBiase, Honky Tonk Man, etc., all on that blue poster with the actual cartoon look. And the man has done absolutely phenomenal work, right? So I spoke to him a few days ago or a couple days ago, and I wanted to get his input, kind of see if he could come up with the design for our release of our figures. And I don't know, like right now, the going rate is $125 per poster. I looked at that.
Man,
I'm like,
I could do that shit. I could do that shit.
yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that's far more expensive than I could ever imagine. So, and even if we, photocopy them, hey, I want 10 bone breaking action posters. We're looking at 125 for the first design for the first poster, and then he, give me a little bundle deal for $30 for each poster after that. I mean, that poster I created, it took me like less than 5 minutes to create that design. With about 30 minutes or so, I think we could come out with the most perfect poster ever. So,
Yeah, no, the design, I could do that. I mean, I don't have time. My life is busy, you know what I mean? But yeah, I could design a poster that we both would like. I don't know what the fuck kind of poster paper to print it on or whatever, but that ain't the hard part. And they ain't gonna cost no hundred and something dollars to do that. You
no,
know?
I mean, obviously, I let him know, hey, I think about it. And, I might still get some of those LJN posters he created, but if we're talking $125 for a small piece of paper, a custom piece of paper at that, I just didn't see the value. Like, how could I arguably resell that as part of my release for my soldier figure, right? Or
I didn't know you were gonna add posters to all this. So a lot of this that you've been telling me lately is like a big old surprise to me, like accessories and posters and stuff. I didn't know you were gonna do posters. If you want to do posters, man, we can design something. You see on my channel, I do little cartoons and stuff all the time. You mean? And then I
yeah,
don't know about the poster paper or whatever, but there's the local print shop in your area where you could just go and pick out what kind of paper you want to be printed on, and it's gonna be way less than that. You know?
absolutely. And here's the thing: I'm not talking about regular Xerox paper or regular computer paper, right? It's glossy paper. I think you use it for like photographs. So I actually
Yeah.
have that type of paper that I could use, throw that in the printer, go to the computer, print that out. I mean, it's not going to be easily rollable like, regular LJN paper posters, but I mean, to have a more thicker card poster, I think would be a lot better.
Yeah.
If we could roll that up too, the whole idea is to try to make this line as close to LJN as possible. That's why I wanted that beautiful card backing, front and back design. On the back of the card, I wanted it to have, what was being released. The reason I chose to have them be grayed out, variants. Like if we have Bone Breaking Action with a purple mask, what if somebody gets in the mail a green mask, right? And let's say we release 100 figures and 10 of them are, green masks, bone breaking action. Then those 10 people have the rare variant. So I think in that case, it would be a whole lot more valuable and a lot more people would be interested in the line. So I wanted the card backings. I wanted the blister bubble, the poster, the poster cover. I wanted all that. As far as accessories, last week you and I during our live show, a lot of people mentioned accessories. So that's the only reason I kind of got into the whole idea of incorporating accessories into the figures. And you know what? That just makes them more valuable, more important, I think. So, and I love the whole Matilda dog type of thing or the CM Punk dog as part of the action figure line. So, but I think the ice cream cone, I think it fits. Okay, the ice cream cone works with this particular look. So, I think that's gonna be a lot easier to create.
Like I said before, man, that dog thing is like a half a figure right there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
We'll wait until you're successful, and then Series 6 we'll do the fucking Butters combo. Hey, you know what's funny? So the other night I was just messing around. I was up all late, and I was messing with Chat GPT. I don't go up there and talk like with Chat GPT like a loser. You mean I mess with it, but it's good for information though too. But whatever. I was asking about what accessories it should be, and
Yeah.
right away Chat GPT said Butters, and then I said second choice. It said ice cream. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I recorded it. I was gonna make a video like later on. You know what I mean?
Dude, I swear to God that they're going onto like our YouTube channels, our comments and all that. That's where it's pulling that information from because it's Google. I think that's all it is. It's just Google. So
Uh-huh.
they're finding our stuff, listed online. I think that's pretty freaking awesome.
Uh-huh.
Just before we move forward, I'm going to answer some of these questions just so that we're not too far behind. All right. I got 4,015. That's for a Carrick. So, damn. Hold on. What did I say? 3,650 for 10 years? Times that by 4. Yeah. I mean, I'm over 12,000 days. So, Kachik says, can I please be a moderator? Buddy, I don't think I would open up my channel to anybody at this rate. Too many people causing issues I've seen on some of my other friends' channels. So, I mean, it would really be difficult for me to open up anybody at this point. Kevin says, Donkey Daddy. Can I be the donkey? I like to be a jackass sometimes. Rural React says Rey Mysterio. So I think he's asking for. No, actually, he might be calling you Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I'm off track, but I think people are saying a bunch of weird shit. I can't find it. What happened? Oh, hey, Mysterio. All right, yeah.
All right. Hey, Felix. Welcome to the show, bud. So, let's see. The running is way too small. Looks like Cal says, what do you think of the Terrifier clown? I love that design. It has a lot of possibility, but they effed it up. I know it's not serious, but go away, phone call. But they could have made that a badass horror franchise. I've seen what was it? All Hallows Eve. I don't know what that was probably like the second or third Art the Clown movie, right? I've seen Terrifier the first one. I've seen Terrifier 2. I think part 3 was like a Christmas type themed movie, but I didn't see that one. Not yet. So to me, it's so gory and brutal, and I am a major horror fan. Like I've always said, I didn't grow up as a kid. My brothers, my sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews, whatever. We didn't grow up watching no damn Sesame Street or stuff like that, right? Oh, here's a funny thing. I think 1988 Halloween 4 came out, right? So during childhood, we probably saw Halloween 4 100 million times. My niece, she was born in like 1990. My oldest brother, he always used to put that movie on for her. She's like 3 years old and obsessed with watching this movie, right? So Imagine being, 3, 5, 10, 7 years old and watching Michael Myers, shove his finger through a guy's forehead, stuff like that, right? That is what we grew up watching. And so my wife says you're very desensitized. So when I watch movies like Hostel and Saw and Terrifier, like I could sit there like eating ice cream or a bowl of cereal or something like, oh man, that's brutal. But like I'm not sitting there turning away, being all grossed out or nothing.
You know,
But
my kid started watching horror movies all young. I was against it. I told
yeah,
her mom she shouldn't be watching that stuff. We took my kid to see Candyman, like in the theaters, like Candyman 3 or something, when she was like 4 or 5. I thought it was terrible, but the mom said that it was all right, and my kid came out just fine.
I actually saw Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. So my we call her Aunt. We call her Aunt Kim, but she really wasn't our aunt. She was, if anything, she was closer to our sister-in-law. But my oldest brother and her, they had multiple kids together, but they never married, right? But for whatever reason, we've always referred to her as Aunt Kim, like growing up. So I remember my oldest brother, Kim, me and my siblings, we went to the theater and we saw Farewell to the Flesh. I never saw the first movie before then, so my first introduction to Candyman was back in like what was that, 1992? So imagine 7 years old watching Candyman. That is what we grew up with, and it's funny as hell because later on in life, I was held back a grade, so I mean I was always older than everybody else. So I was like 15 years old in eighth grade. My birthday was during the year, so I turned 15 eighth grade, and I think that's when my mom finally started going to like Channel 11, whatever the hell that was, and putting on freaking Barney every morning. I mean, at like 3 years old, we're freaking watching the greatest slashers that horror has to offer. When we're full grown kids, full grown teenagers, now we're watching the kiddie stuff. Like, what the hell? And I know my mom only did that just because she wanted something on in the background, but it was kind of weird that she chose freaking Barney to put on. Man,
You know what I saw last night? What I rented last night was that's the new Toxic Avenger.
I think Peter Dinklage is in that.
Yeah, he is.
That looked incredible.
So I rented that last night. Oh, I've been waiting for it. It was like the first night you could stream it and shit. And fucking you like all that Toxic Avenger stuff, Trauma stuff?
I think I saw the first movie. I think it was really shitty back in the day, but I don't remember a damn thing about it. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about the comics or anything like that. So when I do eventually go see the new movie, whenever it does come out, I it'll be a brand new experience for me. Like I couldn't tell you anything about him.
I watched all that Trauma stuff. Trauma stuff is good stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about that movie. It was all right. I thought I was gonna like it. I usually don't like it when they change stuff all kinds and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I thought with this one that they were gonna change everything. It was gonna be all right, and like it was an all right movie, but it wasn't as cool as real toxic Avenger stuff at all.
Cool, badass. I'm gonna go through these messages once more. Hey, what's up, Benito? Sergio said hi. L, what's happening, buddy? Oh, damn, L. Look what happened to your Cubs, man. I was so freaking impressed with the pitching staff in game one of this darn series. And then what freaking happens? Dylan Cease absolutely destroys us in game two. And then this freaking Miller guy comes out of nowhere, strikes out like 6 straight batters. Who the hell is this freaking Miller from freaking Padres? Out of freaking nowhere, becoming the next Aroldis Chapman, tossing 103, 104-mile-an-hour fastballs. It was like the 6th inning, and you're already getting on Facebook, and fans are already talking about game 3 because we already knew there was no way in hell the Cubs are coming back in this one. This is supposed to be one of the most dynamic offenses in all of Major League Baseball, and they scored 3 total runs in 18 innings. That's freaking pathetic. So, I mean, the Padres really have to really blow it up in order to lose this series at this point. I really don't have any faith. Yeah, the Cubs are my team, but I mean, I'm just end up slapping myself across the head for being a Cubs fan if they lose yet again. I'm getting sick and tired of these, you know, first division, division series, championships, and whatever. It's the wild card, right? So, like, I don't even look at the wild card as being postseason. I kind of look at it as 3 games in one for a game 163 to determine who goes to the division series. But pathetic, you know? But Samir says, get out. Who's getting out, Samir? Broad thing to WWE. I don't know what that means, Samir. Sorry, bud. John, bruh, just a tip and no pun intended. Oh, man, that's good. Use cling wrap instead of a condom. It's easier to clean and you can slice it. Oh, God, this guy's such a loser. You know, he's probably one of those damn clowns that created or is part of that loser channel that keeps trying to rip off me and Kirk.
I need for you to send me a link of some of those other videos because I've only seen 2. I've seen the first good one, then I saw another one, but I haven't seen. I want to see them too.
Yeah, the ghost list was stupid as hell. It wasn't
What's
funny.
that?
Yeah, the first one by Ralph Boy was that was a good video. Like I get it, he's insulting us, but at the same time, you can't be too thin-skinned. You know, it was a good song. Like it was a catchy song. I enjoyed it a
It's a
lot.
fun fucking video, yeah.
But
Yeah.
the second video, the ghost list was stupid as hell. I mean, the song wasn't good. The whole AI was shitty as hell. That third one that this other guy made, I'm like, this Mars guy, trash. Like again, a really shitty song. AI was straight garbage. It wasn't funny. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I would.
I just saw the good one, and the other one I remember it had some Mike Tyson's Punch Out stuff in it, and that's about all I can remember.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm like, dude, how much of a bunch of freaking losers you guys got to be to make fun of a guy? Not me. Talk about Kirk now. That because he didn't give you a free toy. I'm like, guys, get a fucking life.
That
What?
you fucking are all upset about a contest that the odds of winning that shit are like ain't gonna happen anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got one person out of over 1,000 that I think Kirk has like 11 or 1,200 subscribers, right? And you think that one individual person was going to win? You know, it's freaking weird. And
yeah, you could win, but what, 1 in 1,000 fucking chances? Shut the fuck up. Who cares, you know?
yeah, so I
don't know.
like
You know what? When he goes live and shit, people fucking start talking shit to him right away. I don't even fucking get it.
trolls.
He has a bunch of kids, I guess.
It's just a bunch of trolls, man. I mean, like I read this comment, I can laugh it off because the guy is being a clown, but you know, it's still funny, you know. So
yeah, I saw some stuff in here.
I laugh. I laugh at
it.
jokes that are funny.
And like what you were saying earlier when you were talking about the wrench, I don't even give a crap about all that. You mean I would just let people say what they want, and I don't know. That's how I would do my channel. I would never do a wrench because I don't care. You mean if anything, fucking I'll cuss you out, and you can cuss me out, and it'll be a good fucking time. Fuck you.
Oh man.
You guys date? How about that one on the end? Yeah, you can DM me on my channel and I'll fucking date you.
All right. Let's see. Another Big Rubber Guy pre-order. New Andre and Herc. For a second, I thought
I saw those. I think there might be some other ones, but I saw that. It's Andre in his little checkered fucking suit, and the Hercules looks pretty cool.
Hercules is fine. I have I think I only have one Hercules custom, LJN custom, but that Andre, and I'm not alone on this. Like I was on Facebook today, right? And one of the posts was talking about why do all these companies keep coming out with the exact same figures? Latuni created the Andre signing, where he's in suit. Now Big Rubber Guys are creating an Andre where he's in the signing suit. I'm like, dude, the Hulk Hogan Andre ripped the cross off his neck type of signing, and I'm like, this is infuriating because all these companies not only are they creating the exact same characters, but they're literally giving you the exact same designs. So both companies have this Andre. They had the Ultimate Andre previously. I'm like, weird.
Because that's just who the fuck they can get contracts with and shit, you know?
Yep. And
See,
it
we
took.
look at toys a lot different, man, but that's cool, you know? But you're like a collector. I'm like I don't know what the fuck I am. I grew up on the shit. I'm like a player, but I don't play with the toys, you know what I mean? But I don't give a fuck about all the same people getting and then all the variants and shit. That's just too much, you know?
True, true, true.
But
Uh,
that's why it works out like that with Andre and Savage and Bulldog because that's just who's these guys can get a contract to their family and make them.
yeah, well, that's why Ahmad has so many Macho Man figures, is because his contract calls. I think he told me 10 figures, and
Uh-huh.
he keeps coming out with like these different out of the box scenarios, and I can see Facebook, and I can see the complaints that a lot of people are having because it's some weird looking Macho Man figure. But I like those mishmatch of characters, right? I like when you put like He Man and wrestling together, or mutants in wrestling, zombies in wrestling, the monster line and wrestling. I think those mishmatches are pretty freaking badass. And they just make cool, sick figures. So kind of seeing him come out with something different. Now, if he was actually coming out with actual X Men, like if that wasn't Batman, Mister Freeze, Blue Macho Man, if that was X Men, and they were kind of meshing the two lines together, I think that would have made it so much better, in my opinion. But the black Macho Man, I don't know. I like it because I like the unique and different items.
I don't
But
even know what the Black Macho Man is.
it's an all black skin Macho Man, but he's got some lightning bolts coming down his body. So he's supposed to be the equivalent of Batman, essentially. So
I haven't seen that at all.
I mean, I'll get it when it comes, but I don't think that one's necessarily going to sell out immediately. But just like all of these lines, you have your loyalists, you have your fan base, so people are going to buy it just because this company is releasing it. So I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like in hand and whatnot. Should be no different than the Blue Macho Man, but
See, I'm like
yeah,
totally on the other side of the fence with this shit. Like with the other toys too. Like the turtles is ridiculous. They mix turtles with everything. You know what I mean? And the He-Man mismatch mashups or whatever. I don't really like those, man. I would like it if they want to mix He-Man and like Thundercats, like 'cause that's the recent one. You know what I mean? But that'd
yeah.
be an example. I don't want these crossbreeds. I just want them all in scale so they can fight in a fucking battle on my desk or whatever. You mean I don't need the mashup part. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh man, the hatred. One of my favorite figures that's been coming out is the 11-inch Andre the Giant from the Toonie, 10 and a half inch, whatever. Obviously, there's complaints because it's not in scale with the rest of the LGNs. Guys, I got that. Yeah, I do like the fact that big rubber guys, their Andres are in scale with the rest of the LGNs, 8 inches. But I also like the fact that Latuni made it different, so it's not exactly identical to these other figures, right? So Andre is a giant. You got to have him towering higher than other
Yeah,
wrestlers.
the tunings is like that, right?
Yeah.
Or standing all straight.
Yeah, so I mean, if it had a better fighting pose, like if you took the original LJN Series 1, Series 2, Series 6, it don't matter. Those were perfect figures, perfect playable poses, right? So I would have loved something like that, or very similar to it. Once you get up into the whole, Ken Patera, one man gang type of poses, I'm not I'm not too keen on those myself, but it works, I guess, to an extent, right?
I don't know.
Uh,
That's a good question, man. Are you just saying that because I got that little fucking fat boy bone breaker that I keep on showing you, right? And I like that. and I think that pose is good for that fucking bone breaker one. But I never really thought about it. I think the one man gang looks fucking good, but like Kim Patera, Paul Orndorff, a lot of those guys with that pose did suck because they weren't very playable with that pose. Now that you say that,
Yeah, and Paul Orndorff only had the one arm up like so. Well, I think the left arm was down. But I mean, when you look at the two figures, right? I mean, this right here is more Macho Man because
is there a
Macho
little bit
Man.
forward more?
Yeah, Macho Man was just simply like this, right? So
Well, that's why I put them a little
or
bit more
shorter.
forward, so it would be more like that, because it has kind of like more like John Studd and Hogan than goddamn Holy straight up.
Yeah, so this is for those that are tuning in for the first time. Bone breaking action. Oh, I wanted to tell you about the update I got. So here's the issue I'm running into with Alibaba. They're pissing me off. I am literally giving them everything that they need at their fingertips. They're not having to do anything. I'm providing all the service for them. But they complain about absolutely everything. So, we said we were going with Jason up first. I gave them all the specs, the designs, 3D prints, pictures, everything. Their complaint was because his glasses are protruding off his face, that would be too hard to make. I'm like, okay, fine. Jason says he might be going through net for his own figure, so let's say we hold off on that until the second release. I went to Alibaba. I'm like, okay, then let's go with the bone breaking action first. And I provided the new upgrades to the head mold with the Kevin Pelkey design. Now they're bitching about the hair, the way that it was shown on the 3D print, 3D file, that the hair was too thin, or that the tassels coming from the mask, that it was too extremely thin. They couldn't turn that into rubber. And I'm like, dude, you're pissing me off with these excuses. At this point, I'm just ready to say, hey, here's my money, take it, do what you need to do. But they are really making this a hard process.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking expose inside secrets on this live and shit, but I was thinking about this last night, or the night I was talking about how I said I was talking to Chat GBT about all this bullshit. Do
Yeah,
you do you have Chat GBT?
yeah,
All
I
these
downloaded.
little youngsters in the comment are gonna start calling me a boomer and all this bullshit because there's some joke about Chat GBT. But do you have Chat GBT?
Yeah, I downloaded the app. I can only use like 3 or 4 uploads a day or something before
Yeah,
they
yeah,
block.
yeah. I paid $20 for that bullshit. But the other night, and I just did it a little bit, just messing around. But I was asking Chat GPT what kind of paint that LGN used because a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
And and then I was asking questions about molds and stuff like that, man. So maybe you should get Chat GPT and just talk to it on the little goddamn mic, and it'll talk back to you. It's just like Googling in real time, but you can you don't I mean, you can ask it questions and you can ask it back and forth questions and learn how to do this shit cheap or how to fucking do it.
So just before I go further, I'm gonna ask or read some more of these comments here. Uh, I don't know who. I gotta be honest. We got like 90% new viewers today, and it looks
Yeah,
like
it's
a lot of people are
crazy,
just.
huh?
Yeah, I mean, most of the guys are just smart Alex. So, uh,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of stuff I'm probably not even gonna read because it's not pertinent. Um,
I see P. Diddy is up in this bitch.
let's see. L says, "Don't see Candyman 3 times, or else he'll appear and eat your popcorn." L, that's a good one, bud. Glitch King 67. I'm not really sure what that is, but guy on the left looks like young Michael Myers. Dude, that's what's up. Actually, no, hold on a minute. That dude, I hate you. Never mind. That's a criticism. Motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding, bud. If you're talking about the 2007 Michael Myers, now don't get me wrong, Rob Zombie, love them. I think they are theatrical movie geniuses. But that freaking blonde kid that played Michael Myers, I'm not sure what the hell his name was, I forgot. Whenever I look at him, I don't see Michael Myers. All I see is that annoying ass kid from from what? Not Hitch. What the hell's that damn movie called? That superhero Will Smith movie.
Oh fuck, that's a good movie.
Yeah, damn
I
it.
have
Why is it?
liked it. I don't know. It's not
But
that. I don't know what it is.
yeah, but he was in that movie, and that's obviously where I first saw that kid. And then later on, he was part of the 2007. So, um, love Michael Myers, freaking legend. Wouldn't mind the
And I
comparison.
wasn't paying attention just now, but the kid from Michael Myers is in that fucking Will Smith super movie. I
Yeah,
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I like both those movies. I'm gonna
he's like,
look that shit up now.
dude, one of the funniest freaking movies of one of the funniest freaking scenes of the movie is like, Will Smith telling him, leave the little kid alone. He's like, this kid's like, oui, le petit asshole. Like, don't call me an asshole. Why not, asshole? Call me an asshole one more time. Asshole.
The
And he
Michael
gets
Myers
lost.
kid is the main kid, or he's just has a scene in it, or is he the
No,
main kid?
no, he's that kid that Will Smith throws up into the air, and then he comes
Oh yeah,
flying.
all right. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah, yeah.
So when I see that kid as Michael Myers, I'm like, all I can think is that little kid walking away crying because he.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, man. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Hancock. Someone wrote
That.
Hancock. That's the name of the movie.
Thank you. I mean, it was such a simple freaking word, but I couldn't remember the damn name. uh, hey, Jesus, though. Thanks for that, though. Love Michael Myers, so I love the representation, though. Irish, what's happening, bud? Oh, Irish. Now that you're on, man, I gotta ask you. I keep watching your live streams, man, but like every time I comment, it doesn't populate. And like I kind of just like scroll up, scroll back down, and go back to your live stream, right? Just to see if my message is still there, and it's not. And so I put in a few times testing, send, and no response from anybody. So I mean I kind of sent several messages yesterday, and I think I'm kind of blocked, buddy. I'm pretty sure. I mean, not intentionally, but yeah, I can't send messages. But I do watch your stuff, man. All right. When Diddy got locked up, all his victims came out, and you can't tell, and you can tell. Conrad Black. Hey, what's happening, Nancy? Is this real WWE fighter? Well, our special guest on the right here is Ish, I guess, right?
Ish.
I mean, more of an indie wrestler, but I mean, shoot, wrestler nonetheless. Got to fly the L today. Yeah, that was 3-0 shutout, man. And of course, Saya, I'm watching him in the ninth inning bat, and I'm like, man, do not strike out, do not hit to a double play. What happens? Freaking double play. Oh, I kind of gotta go off the rails here. Ian Happ has gone like what 0 for 8, 0 for 9 with like 7 strikeouts in 2 games. And you know what? Craig Counsell is still going to insert his ass in the number 3 slot tomorrow. 3 is for your run producers. Why is a guy that strikes out in literally every single one of his at bats batting number 3? If Craig Counsell really wants his glove in the outfield, bat him ninth. He is not doing anything offensively to help the team. He's a total rally killer. I love Ian Happ. I want him part of the Cubs, but I want him to stay away from this postseason. Kyle Tucker, I want him gone from this postseason because they just do not produce. Ballesteros should be your designated hitter. Kyle Tucker does not need to be playing. Left field, like I said, if you want Ian Happ's glove out there, bat him ninth. There's no reason he should be anywhere near the top of the order. All right. Are you a real W fighter, Mass? So Cobra Kai Lover is asking if you are a real WWE fighter.
No. I like what the last person said. I'm a fat Rey Mysterio. And someone said that am I the guy from Billy Madison? That was good too.
Damn, I'm way back. Ross, what's happening, bud? Rebel, we in the Porch Podcast. Your face is as purple as your mask. Well, that's just the mask being shown right now. So, yeah, I kind of see it around this area, but that's just the outline of the mask. It's a.
I lost the babies.
How did you lose them? They're inside the thing.
Yeah, they broke out, and They're lost, and I can't find them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Probably.
Love you.
Love you too.
You want to sit down and join us?
No, I'm out of breath.
Cool.
Stairs.
You're not gonna laugh at that.
That's fine. Downstairs.
The damn baby's made a jailbreak. Put him back in the playpen, and they
That's
freaking.
right when they do that, or what? That's okay when they do that, or what?
I
Is
mean,
that emergency?
like my wife has a heating pad through the back of the playpen, so they've smartened up, and instead of climbing to the top of the front and trying to break out that way, they hijacked their way through the back through the opening. But then my wife took like a little zip tie or something and closed off the back. So now I have no idea how the hell they got out, but they're fine. We've been letting them out, most of the day, every day for like the last couple weeks, last week and a half.
They're fine then.
I mean, they're about a month and a half old by now. I mean, I don't remember how long ago we got them.
There's a bunch of shit talkers going on down here somewhere.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of message retractions. Yeah, 8 Irish. Yeah, he says that, he's getting a lot of trolls too. I'm like, kind of funny, man. Like, people don't have anything better to do with their lives. I'm like, okay.
That Mysterio is funny, but someone wrote, "Gay Mysterio." I like that too. This dude couldn't last 1 minute in the ring. He would get tired. Well, probably fucking not. And my fat ass only needs a minute to grab you, so whatever the fuck. Plus, I at least got 10 or 15 minutes of luchador skills before I blow up.
The original San Francisco Hulk Hogan pose. That's exactly what it is, though. And original San Francisco Hogan, I mean, it isn't bad, but it's not like his LJN figure, not by any stretch of the imagination, right? So, I'm trying to shoot through these real quick because I'm like way behind you. Ford is good as around. Well. Yeah, AL. That's one of the bad things about these. That these prototypes. Like I said, man, I paid for all rubber, and these were all resin. But do you think I'm ever going to be reimbursed the difference? No. And not a single one of these figures can stand on their own. So I'm going to scoop ahead. And I saw one response from Bearded. What did Bearded say?
Time we were talking about the Saturday night mat. That was a great idea.
For the Saturday night what?
The Saturday night mat for the action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were talking about that last week? Someone said that shit in the comments.
Yeah, the drunken Woody. That'd be killer. Hey, Cubby, what's going on? You leaving, Cubby? My little Cubby baby is getting ready to walk out now. Everybody's abandoning me. Update. So, we talked Alibaba, right? And I'm getting fed up with them. I want these to be the real thing, right? I want them to be the real thing, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And any of viewers that watch the channel that might actually be interested in picking these figures up, they would pick it up if it was the real thing, carded, bubble, poster, etc. If it's just a regular, ordinary custom that you can find from Ram Treasures or any other customizer, the interest level isn't going to be there. So I could still go through XOX Customs, but I reached out to Net. I've asked Kevin Pelkey to reach out to Net on my behalf. I've asked Jason to reach out to Net on my behalf. She hasn't gotten back to me, so I don't really think there's much of an interest from her on her end for wanting to produce these figures through her Etsy or through her Ram Treasures website. So at this point, I've reached out to Nick over at our Lady Lux Leather. So he makes almost identical rubber figures to what Ram Treasures puts out. And, Net at one point several months ago, she told me that she gets about 20 to 25 molds from 25 figures from a $1,000 mold. So when I talked to Nick, he's like, no, that's way too much. He could probably create, 50 figures from one mold, and it would only cost about $500. So what he and I discussed, same thing, kind of what I thought about on behalf of Round Treasures, right? If I pay for the mold, she reimburses me the full amount. That only leaves her about $1,500 left over in profit. So when I talked to Nick, I said the same thing. He said $500 for the mold. I'm like, we're already half price and we're double the figures. So that right there, it already excites me. You know, he's an artist. He's a painter. He does really great work. So I'm thinking either send him the resin figure, or if he uses a 3D file, I'm still not too sure on how he creates the rubber mold. But I'm thinking Bone Breaking Action is going to be the first figure. If it is a loose individual piece, no card back, no bubble, etc., I at the very least want to include a poster to go along with these. And of course, I want these obviously to be rubber. So the
I
idea
got a
is,
shitload of these stickers. I could send you these. Are you gonna mail these out yourself or what?
yeah, I will
If you're gonna mail
probably,
these out, if you wind up mailing these from your house or whatever the fuck, man, I'll get your address. We'll include my supply class will include a bone breaker sticker.
yeah, and I got to make sure that I pay you off, through PayPal or something, so that you get a percentage of the sales as well. So that's obviously
You don't
part of the
gotta
deal.
pay me nothing, man.
Man, you know what's going to happen. Shoot.
When you make $1 million, then you can look back and throw me a bone. But until then, this is just good, An
Yeah.
action figure. How awesome is that? I
Yeah,
don't
so
need nothing, dude. And I'm always down. I don't got much time, but I'm always down to do whatever, man. Whether it's brainstorming or trying to make some stupid art for whatever or whatever. I wish I'd be doing more like investigation into some of this because I don't got time.
right, I gotcha. So
But anything you ever need from me on this little Maniac Riot Wrestling, man, I'm there for you.
hell yeah, man, I really appreciate that. So I mean, it sounds like Nick really is the best route to go as far as,
It sure
so
does. All that stuff you said was good just now
yeah.
compared to other stuff.
Now, if he wants me to, obviously I told him I'd pay for the mold. So that's a huge balance off his, off of his shoulders, right? He doesn't have to worry about paying that balance on the mold. So the other idea is, let's say he puts together 10 figures at a time. He wants me to pay for all the figures all at one time. He'll send it to me, and then I'll sell them on my own.
And then how much would these figures sell for that you're talking about right now?
Based on what he's charging me, perfect. Again, remember he's painting them and he's creating the rubber. So based
Amy
on,
Small wants one right now. She wants to know how much it would be right now. Amy Small does.
I'd have to say, I still say $100. If I want to make this a business and I want to earn profit so I could pay it into purchasing the next figure, they still have to be $100 figures. Now,
That's better than 150.
yeah, I mean, when you look at like Kevin and Sin, these guys, they charge you about $130, $150 for resin figures, right? Net, she comes out about $130, $140 for a rubber figure. So if I'm saying here's a rubber figure for $100, I still think that's a great deal. And because it's niche, it's something that's nobody else is coming out with. Nobody's coming out with a bone breaking action figure. Nobody's coming out with a new 80s revolution action figure, right? So it's going to be completely different than what you see on the market. So even if we can't come out with the card and the blister bubble like I wanted, I at least want to throw in a viable poster to go along with it, so somebody can at least have that alongside, picture framed. My buddy Mikey Mojo, he takes his posters, his LGN posters, he frames them, and then he sits his action figure in front of the poster. I'm like, beautiful way to display his collection. So maybe someone is interested in doing something similar to that.
I'm going to say something real quick, dude. So
Yeah.
Too Cool in here says, hurry the fuck up and make these that she wants to buy them all for Christmas. And then I want to read another comment. I lost it, man. Oh, yeah. So we got, I don't know what this name is, man. Fly that or whatever. You know this guy.
Fly the L. Uh-huh.
Fly the L. So he says $100 is tough, but you got to charge enough to make some profit. And so we got new people in here and stuff, you know what I mean? But the people that like are really gonna buy these, that watch our channels and shit like that,
Yeah.
like it's kind of like what I was saying the other day when we were on here, man. $100 is a lot, dude. It's a lot better than 150, but it's your first time, and like I was saying before, you're a good dude, and you're just a lover of this bullshit, like the people that are buying these are. So maybe $100 is rough now, and maybe $100 will be rough for a minute or however long it takes, but and I'm sure Waddy's gonna fucking do what he can to make it cheaper. He's already told me that shit before. He wanted to do it for 50. He didn't want to do it for 100. But like what I was saying before, man, support this fucking Maniac Wrestling Riot stuff if you like it and all that. You mean? And I'm sure fucking he'll get the prices down as soon as he can. But I mean, all these places are charging all kinds because it takes money to make money, and then when you can make money, then you can buy better shit and get prices down.
Yeah, and when I look at Wrestle Something Wrestlers, which I love that line, Grapples and Gimmicks, Zombie Sailors. I mean, yes, they're 4-inch Hasbro figures. They're plastic. Actually, no. I don't think any of those companies are plastic. Mattel Retros, Hasbro, those are plastic. But I actually think that all these other lines are resin. Because when you knock on them, they're hard as a rock, right? I think those are actually resin figures. And I think that's why they're sculpted so well.
What is?
All of the retro Hasbro style figures.
All right.
From Premier Wrestling and Grapples and Gimmicks, Zombie Sailors, Epic Toys, Cello Toys. Damn, why am I forgetting Sal's damn company now? I haven't talked about Sal's company in a while, and now I can't remember his damn his figures, what they're called.
There's someone in here called Drunken Donuts. That's a good name.
I like that. Hey, Irish, I see what you're comment, man. You're good, bud. I'll still be tuning in, whether or not I can comment. Not a biggie, dude. So, L wants me to have a cat. Hey, I'm going to have the cats. BBA is going to have the dog. Why the hell not? I see a series 2 coming. Let's see. Oh, man. Come on, who are these people?
I don't know. There's a bunch of shit out here.
What do y'all think of Jim Cornette?
Jim Cornette's awesome.
Yeah, Jim Cornette actually lives here in Louisville. I would love to be able to meet up with him somewhere and, just kind of, have that conversation, guys like that with Pritchard and Heenan, guys like, I would love to, hear their stories and whatnot. Stuff that happened in the locker room, the ideas, they're brainstorming behind storylines and matches and things like that.
Yeah, man. Listen to Jim Cornette's podcast. It's greatness.
So I think, that's obviously when I think Jim Cornette, manager type, I always think of him as, Yokozuna's manager. I mean, among others, but, Mr. Fuji, Jim Cornette, he managed Yoko, he managed Vader. I love those two guys going at it in the ring during the Royal Rumble. Jim Cornette.
Yeah, man, you gotta listen to his podcast and shit because he's way greater than you ever knew watching him just on TV and shit. He's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll ask my mods at one of them hit you for my channel or something. I'll ask, hey, Irish, thanks, buddy. I listen to Jim's podcast regularly. Made me appreciate aspects of wrestling I never noticed before. Right on. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Sometimes when I kind of listen to Matt Cardona and the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, right? I hear some stories from them as well sometimes. I mean, I don't listen to or watch every video, but I click on some here and there from time to time.
I'm surprised you don't watch that Matt Cardona shit when he talks about all these action figures and companies and shit. But yeah, I watch it, but I'm surprised you don't. I always think about that when I watch it. Like, I wonder if you're watching it or if you do.
Sometimes, I mean, I always get the message on my phone. Major Wrestling Figure Podcast has a new video out, so I always get those notifications. So, and I might click on it on the phone, watch it a little bit. But if it's like a 2-hour live stream, I'm not gonna sit there and watch 2 hours go through. But I
I
watched a little bit.
fucking a lot of times I just skip to like whatever action figure I see that they're talking about that I want to hear them talking about. So I skip through it. I guess what I'm trying to say. There's a bunch of shit. So there's something about what time does the bloke on bloke action start, and a whole bunch of other shit like that.
Damn, it's weird how freaking far behind I am. Last has been getting on my nerves lately with his constant organ playing. He's
I
Brian
see
Brian.
Cardona on the very bottom. Cardona's the best modern day wrestler.
I was kind of sad when there was no live stream on Monday. Digging the extra live streams. Yeah, man, shoot. I had to put up a little Facebook notification L because my power went out. Like in Louisville, and at least in our neighborhood, the power went out on Friday on Monday. It was like 5:15, 5:30 when the power went out, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It'll be out for a little bit. It'll come back on, no big deal. 7 o'clock rolls around, still nothing. I'm like, shoot. All right. At very least, I want to do the 8 o'clock show. People are used to me being on 8 o'clock on Saturdays. Maybe they'll look at it and be like, okay, maybe he'll be back on in an hour. 8:15 before the power finally came back, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Here's the thing: I lived in Central Texas for 13 years, and you think, okay, Killeen, Texas, not a major city, right? It's not Austin, it's not San Antonio or Dallas or anything like that. So I never had an issue like that back then. I get to Louisville, a metropolitan, and I've had more power outages since I've been here than probably ever in my life combined. So it's crazy. I mean, this is a metropolis. Just like Chicago is a metropolis and Los Angeles is a metropolis, Louisville is a metropolis. And to have this sort of power out, it's just weird that they can't get their power grid together. All right. I still watch AEW, but I can't think of what Jim would say about the current match. I can't watch AEW, man. I can't watch any of that stuff. Like
I
I
don't
even
like
put on,
AEW at all.
like even Raw. Like I put on Raw on Netflix a couple months ago, 3 months ago, maybe. First time in like 27 years or so that I actually watched wrestling live. I sat there for like an hour or 2 hours, however long it was. And I was bored out of my freaking mind. But I wanted to watch it because, hey, I had it on. I actually remember Monday, Raw, tune in. So this
I
past Monday
watched
was
the highlights, man, and like I don't know, man, maybe around 2000, it
yeah,
started sucking real bad, and then I would just force myself to watch it because I watched it all my life, And then
yeah.
about 2010, it got like so bad I couldn't even watch it no more. But I'd always watch highlights. But I will say that nowadays it is starting to get all right, and there's a few interesting things going on every show. There's a lot of bunk stuff, and maybe overall it is kind of bunk, but I don't know, like the Bloodline, and there's good stuff on there nowadays.
It wasn't Matt Cardona. Was it Sterling or I don't know, man. Maybe it was Myers. One of those guys. I forget who. Um, on one of the podcasts I watched recently, they were talking about how Bloodline could be like one of the greatest storylines ever made. I'm like, that's kind of like an oddball comment. Like, I mean, maybe it is. Like, I don't watch
It
modern
was
day
fun for a long
wrestling.
time, man. A while back, when they had Sami Zayn hanging out with the Usos and the Bloodline and all that, there was magic moments like in the 80s when there's like magic moments. That
Yeah.
shit was like a magic moment, like how wrestling used to be.
I don't know, man. Like, to me, I always say between, let's say, 84 and 93, maybe 84 to 95 was probably like your highlight wrestling years.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that's basically when most people were watching, obviously mid 80s to late 80s. And by 90s, I think a lot of people were either teenagers or older even, and probably didn't care as much. But 1990, I was 5 years old, and that's basically when my memories really started kicking in. So between like 90 and 92 was probably like the highlight years for me as a fan. Watching wrestling on Saturday mornings or whatever it was, primetime wrestling, what have you. The whole Hillbilly Jim and Heenan and Mr. Perfect and Vince McMahon, sitting around the round table talking about the wrestling matches and stuff. Like I remember that stuff, and that was a highlight point. Watching the
Mhm.
Rockers, dissolve. Shawn Michaels throws Marty through the window. Like as a 7-year-old watching that, like holy, like you think that stuff is real at the time, and that was like the most to me. That's still what is it? 33 years later, that stuff is still heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, and wrestling don't do that nowadays. The wrestling that is going on now, there
Yeah.
don't there ain't moments like that where people are gonna think about them 20 years later. It's like not even good like that no more at all.
But that was like not just heartbreaking. That was like scary. Like you literally thought freaking Marty Jannetty was head first into the darn window. I don't remember him bleeding or anything. I'm pretty sure he was, and I'm pretty sure they had like
I
little
don't
blood
remember
leaks or
either.
something.
Seems like he
But,
would be, but I don't remember either. They used to put the big red X on it sometimes back then.
let's see, because I watched that in the '80s, but I got nothing on Jim Norland. Andrew says, "Who the fuck is Super Mega?"
Oh, wow,
This,
I didn't really hear you. I was trying to read shit.
yeah, this Andrew guy says, "I love Super Mega." I'm like, "Who the fuck is Super Mega?"
I
Like
don't know
this is
either. Kenny Omega, I
like
don't know.
I know of the name because a couple years ago, obviously, live streams are just something I started doing like the last 4 or 5 months on a consistent basis. But I put together like maybe 3, 4 live streams total, like the first 2 years of the channel. And there were people early in my live streams that kept saying Super Mega. And I'm like, what's that? And I didn't know what the hell that was. I had to look it up. And apparently, okay, I do know a little bit about it, but not a lot. Super Mega is some guy named Matt Watson, the same name as me. And I'm like, dude,
Oh yeah,
I'm not the same freaking person. I'm like, do some freaking research, guys. Like the damn Super Mega guy that they're talking about, that kid was like
he's a
25.
wrestler.
No, he's
He's
just
a wrestler.
he's just a YouTuber.
All right.
I've never watched a Super Mega thing in my life, but apparently he's some YouTuber, and that's basically all I know. I looked him up. I think he's like 25 years old or something, right? I'm like, dude, this kid is like 40% of my age or whatnot, 60% of my age. It's a very easy Google search to find out that we are nothing alike in any capacity. So I see this comment. I'm like, dude, you realize that we're not the same person, right? But that's funny, but idiotic. But we'll pass. Midnight Express. So Amy talks about Midnight Express, and who is it? I mean, no, it was Rock and Roll Express that Big Rubber Guys came out with. Is Midnight Express coming from anybody? I kind
Midnight
of feel
Express is blue, goddamn Jim Cornette match, and then there's that whole Power Town. I don't know. You can go on Jim
like
Cornette's website and order goddamn Midnight Express. That Power Town almost got one of those guys. But yeah, I don't know who makes. I don't know who makes Midnight Express, but he sells them on his fucking channel.
mm. Yeah, because I could see either Ram Treasures or XOX Customs coming, or XOX, either Ram Treasures
Well,
or Big Rubber
it
Guys.
was so cool the other day, man, on Jim Cornette's channel. He was talking. You know what I'm talking about when I say Power Town?
Yeah, the
That Greg
Remco
Gagne
things.
was making all those wrestlers and people aren't getting them and all that stuff, right? So
Yeah,
Jim
definitely.
Cornette was talking about all that on his channel because one of the Midnight Express almost signed with Power Town or whatever the fuck. And Jim Cornette was like, what the fuck? I already got you guys in my shit or whatever. But I don't know, but whatever. And then, but what was cool was Matt Cardona popped up in Jim Cornette's comment section and said that talk to me and I'll do Big Rubber Guy, Jim Cornette's and all that. You know what I mean? Jim Cornette probably didn't give a damn about all that, but that was cool that Matt Cardona popped up. And if Matt Cardona had Big Rubber Guys of Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express, that'd be really cool, you know?
So they got a Missy Hyatt. I'm wondering if they're going to come out
I
with like
like that.
Sable and Elizabeth and like all those characters, just Trish Stratus, people like that as well. I mean, I want a China figure. I talked to Net months and months and months ago about getting an actual 8-inch China figure, and I want it to be absolutely perfect. Like I don't want just some generic China. I want her to be have the right pose, the right look. I want it to be perfect. Um, Shoot, if I was going to create any individual wrestler, like if I had to reach out to the family and see if I could, create that on their behalf, China would be one of those characters I would want in my first series. She was one of my
The
favorites. Absolutely loved her. So, and when she died, I'm like, damn, that's one of that stuff that still hurts to this day. Like
that
China was
someone
amazing.
wrote about the big rubber guy of Sunny in her prison outfit, big rubber guy. Yeah, that's crossed my mind a bunch of times.
Yeah, so multitask a lot. So AW is nice to have on the background. Unfortunately, WWE is getting that way too. You get his Midnight Express. They always saw that. Fly have seen the Dairy Queen when he went off. Jim actually got me back into wrestling figures when I bought my first signed Cornette fig last year. So, what is it? The red cards that I have, the Legends of Professional Wrestling. That's from a company called, I think, FC Toys or something. So they don't come on red cards anymore. They migrate to like these little small black boxes, and later on, I see a bunch of those FC Toys releases on like regular card back with like a yellow backing, yellow banner, and just a regular bubble in front. So that's Jim Cornette's company, I believe. So
Yeah,
I
I don't know. It's not his company, but yeah, he signed with them or whatever. Yeah, because I got all that bullshit too. I got my signed to Jim Cornette, and I got Abdul the Butcher in that Legends of Wrestling style.
yes, I have
But
like the
yeah, it's
first
the same
13 or
company.
14 because those red cards. Like I said, I have like the first. I think the first 14 series are, they're just two figures, right? One character, one character bloody, one character not bloody. So basically, it's one release each series, but with two variants.
Those figures suck.
What for the Legends of
That
Professional Wrestling?
Legend, whatever it's called, because I got Abdul the Butcher and Bundy. Because I got them like years ago when they first came out, but they're
Yeah.
made shitty. And I got
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jim Cornette one just because it's signed and all that by him. But yeah, if you took out that package for a figure, it sucks. And the package and all that, I guess they're all right. But yeah, the way they're made, they're generic.
Yeah, well, I have not a whole lot loose. I mean, I probably have, I don't know, 8 or 9, maybe 10 loose figures. Like I have all three variants of Bundy. I have both variants of Kamala loose, and I have like Tito Santana and maybe Bob Orton or someone like that. So I got a few others additional, and they're weird looking a little bit, but I mean they're fine. Like I enjoy the line. I would say that they're probably on my top 10 favorite action figures if we're being honest. But I love them on
The
card.
Jim Cornette ones, and what they do now is they make them like the Jacks, so they got like the bendable knees and all that shit.
Yeah, and a whole lot of times, any of them that does this, I hate this. I hate everything. I
Oh,
hate all that
I don't like all
articulation.
that either.
Oh God, no, they're horrible, horrible. Oh, to the viewers that are wondering, what is the drink for today? Kind of same thing that we had, I think, on Saturday. We got the Blue Hypnotic, and of course, we mix it with the Kinky Red. Now, my wife, she does a really good job. She gets the martini glass, she pours in the blue, and she layers the red drink so that the red sits on top of the blue. I don't know how she does it. Like she uses like a little spoon, and the way that she kind of glides it over the blue, it's beautiful looking. I just pour it in there, and it just turns into this pink drink. But I also came back with this Sipping Cream Strawberry Dream. You guys remember me drinking this a couple weeks ago? You open this up, it just looks like strawberry milk inside. It's got the texture of strawberry milk, the texture and look of strawberry milk. One of these days, one of these freaking alcohol companies are going to reach out to me and want to sponsor my channel. And that's going to be freaking amazing because I am giving them so much damn free publicity.
Saturday Night Matt special.
WWE on Netflix, ain't it? Hey, Amy. Yeah, man. Shoot. Amy, I haven't, like I said, I've only watched one event. That was like 3 months ago, which was like a Monday Night Raw. And I don't even remember the match. I don't remember who even wrestled. I want to say one of the guys from Bloodline wrestled in like the last match, but like maybe it was like a championship or something. Like I
The
don't remember.
Bloodline is cool. Dirty Dom is super cool.
All right. We doing some role playing. $100 is tough, but you got to charge enough to make some profit. Hey, I mean that's exactly what I'm talking about. All of these companies, no matter who you're going through, you got to look at their bottom line as well, right? And that's the toughest part about creating these figures. Like if I was a customizer and I had the ability, the talent to create my own rubber, create my own figures, personally paint them, create a legitimate card back, right, with poster. BBA mentioned, or actually, I think you mentioned. I know I spoke to Rob Jackson, and he said the kind of same thing. Or no, it was Mark Hackenberg. I don't know. When I say I've spoken to literally everybody on the planet, I feel that way because I have talked to everybody imaginable who might have the know-how in customization and all that. And really, all you gotta do is get this machine, maybe a little hair dryer, to kind of create the bubble around, or to fit the bubble around the card or around the figure. But I don't have that knowledge, so I have to pay everyone else to do it, right? And this is supposed to be a business for us. I don't have to earn all the money in the world, but I need to earn enough money that I can invest, back into the company and so forth. So going through Alibaba, 500 units for a single figure, $100 a piece. That was nice. That was a nice dream. But the more I talk about it, the more I go into detail, the more I work with these folks over at the factory, they are pissing me off, guys. I really want this to be as special as possible, but they're not making my dream come true. So if I could do, and that's another thing, I didn't want customs. I wanted a legitimate release. I have no choice. I have to go the custom route. But I'm thinking if these guys are as talented as I think they are, when this figure is made, it won't look like a resin custom. It'll be a rubber figure, and it'll look like any of the other LJNs. So it'll bleed in beautifully. Right size, right weight, right rubber, all that. I talked about Nick at Lady Lux Leather, right? Based on what he's going to charge me per figure, I have no choice. I have to sell it for $100 minimum. And I'm going to have to sell it on Facebook or something for like friends and family because I can't afford to take, goods and services because you take a loss on that, right? So let's say goods and services, you're down to earning, let's say $96, $90, whatever that is. Let's say I pay for shipping. Okay, now I'm down to about $80, maybe $75. At that point, there's no money to be made, right? Or very little money to be made. Probably not worth the sale of one figure. So he said he could create 50 figures from one mold, and he'll just sell me 10 figures at a time. That's gonna be a little bit more manageable. So I'll invest roughly $1,000 or so. Or not that much, but I still think people will enjoy the figures, hopefully. And if we do 10 at a time, we'll see how well they sell. If we can get accessories and we get a good poster, there's possibilities. There's still possibilities to be made.
Accessories is probably more money, more problems, but accessories would be kind of cool to kind of separate Major Rat Wrestling from the others,
Absolutely. And I think I think series 1 is really going to be the only series that we look at where we're focusing on YouTubers that cover wrestling. I think in series 2, if we expand the roster, I want to do one series because I think one series is fun. One series makes it rare. And for collectors, it would be a nice piece to have that said they have something that 99.9% of the world don't have, right? if everyone has the option of picking up, multiple figures, I don't think it'll keep going where people will be interested in each individual release. Then it's going to be nitpicking as to which one they actually want. But I think the first 4 or 5 or 6, depending on if we release extra variants, people might want a purple and green mask variant. People may want the ACU uniform and the DC uniform and the BDU uniform, right? So that's like 3 variants right there. When I go through Nick, I'm gonna have him paint my 3rd soldier figure with the actual BDU colored uniform, and a couple of others as well. This is fun, man. I'd like talk about this because there's just so many options, and you just never know. Thanos. All right. Hey, Amy, we really appreciate it. We always thank all of our viewers for tuning in. It's amazing, and we always appreciate the conversation, of course. Take a chance on the toonie and love the feel of the machos, even though they're all in the same pose. Yeah, I talked to Ahmad, and he knows how I feel about reutilizing the same pose over and over again. That first design was unique and different. I'm like, clever. What was it, black and white or silver and silver and black macho? I think it was the first one released. Then he came out with the pink trunks, I think. I'm like, once he came out the second one, I'm like, no, can we change this out to somebody else or a different pose at least? So that's tough because so many of the figures are just identical, and it really is a selection of, hey, which figure do you want the most? I think most people are going to go with that silver and black Macho Man. If that sells out, they'll go with the pink version. But unless you're someone like me who likes this line and wants to pick up everything, a lot of people aren't going to pick up that blue Macho Man. They're not going to pick up the black Macho Man. Later on, when he comes out with the Macho Man with the commercial where he opens up his robe and he's got all the Macho Man or all the wrestling figures, right? That is going to sell really well, I think. I think the Halloween Bash Macho Man is going to, where he's dressed as Tarzan, that I believe is going to sell really well. That's a great, unique look. Nobody else has come up with that look ever. That's something I would go for. Problem is, like, let's say we are successful and we do make this a legitimate business where we have everything, same as Latuni, LJN, right? Guys like Ric Flair and Andre and Macho Man, I would love to make those guys. I would love them to be part of this particular line. But there are 100 billion 100 figures made from all these companies that it's overkill at this point. So that's why I don't want to touch anybody that's already been made previously. To me, it's really important we go with something that's unique, something that's different than the rest of the companies out there. All right. All right. $50 is probably too low, right? Yeah. $50 is where we should be at. I'm making that as clear as possible. Latuni, $50 figures. Big rubber guys, $50 figures most of the time. Sometimes they jump up to like $65, $70, but that's rare case. Most of their figures are usually around 50 bucks. If you look at LJNs back in the 80s, they're selling for around, let's say $7, $8, $9. In today's financial equivalent, you're looking at about $42 to $50 in value. So big rubber guys, Latuni, they're right on the mark. I have to be in that $50 mark the same way to keep up with the rest of these companies. Problem is, and what I've described to other folks, all of these other companies, retro figures, Hasbro style, Galoob style, LJN, whatever company you're buying from, they all take pre-orders. So if they get 750 pre-orders, they're already paid. That money is already in their account. They could use that money to pay the factory to purchase those 750 figures. But me, I am 100% coming out of pocket. My buyers will not pay me until the figure is physically in hand, ready to ship. So because I'm coming out of pocket already right off the bat, I have to not only earn my money back that I paid into it, but I also have to earn a profit so I can put that money back into developing and releasing the next figure. So that's why I'm coming out to $100. Even if it was pre-order and everyone's paying, would $100 still be fair? I think so. But maybe one day, if this is like hugely successful and we just sell just an absolute ton of figures and we come out with the second figure and we release an absolute, maybe I could drop the price to $50. But no, even because if I go through Lady Luck's Leather, what he's asking per figure, it just wouldn't work. That's because he's asking more than $50, a whole lot more than $50, right? So I think we're pretty much stuck at the $100 price tag. But we're
But you never know what's going to happen in the future.
What's that?
You don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, and like I said, with all these companies creating resin figures, they're charging you $125, $150. Ram Treasure, it's great, but $125 to $140 for a figure, right? So I'm going to be releasing a very playable wrestling figure, right? You got kids, you can give it to your kids. They can enjoy the same way that you enjoyed you play during the 1980s as a kid. So they're going to be very playable figures. They're going to be rubber. It's going to be done the right way, hopefully. Now, let's say so-and-so releases the figures. I buy them. I get them in hand. They're rubber, right pose, good look. But I look at the figure and I'm like, so I'm looking at the figure, good pose, good likeness. Everything is solid, great rubber. But you look at the figure and it's still, in my definition, custom. I don't want these to look custom. I want them to look like original LJN pieces, right? So what happens then? I've already paid for these pieces. Do I still try to release them under my banner when I'm not completely satisfied with it? That's the tough part. But at least my viewers and my buyers know that I'm going to try my best to take care of them and get them the best product possible. These other companies, it's basically you buy the figure, you're stuck with it. No refunds. I think on a case-to-case basis, I can at least try to work with buyers, and if they're not satisfied, accept a return, but I'd prefer not to. But again, that's, future talk. That's not anything to talk about right now because it's still way too early in the process.
Are you feeling the buzz at all?
Am I selling which one at all?
Are you feeling a buzz at all of your drinky poo?
Not really. I mean, these two mixed drinks, they don't really have a whole lot of alcohol per volume. So, I mean, I would probably have to drink probably half these bottles in order to get drunk, I think.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to move on to the strawberry milk. That's what I
What
call
the
it.
fuck was that? Oh, strawberry milk, real strawberry milk, or what?
No. This is what it looks like.
All right.
It's got the color and texture of milk, so or strawberry milk, but it's called Appalachian Sippin' Cream Liquor Strawberry Dream from the Sugarlands Distillery Company. So, oh god, it smells. Actually, I mean, it got that nice scent of strawberry, right? But it does smell like strawberry milk too.
Dude, bro, I was constipated. This really helped.
Hey, Steve, you're wondering if I'm selling my collection. I don't sell my personal collection, but I have two eBay accounts. I have a Mercari account, and I even list the same stuff on Facebook Marketplace. So basically, anything that I have duplicates of, I sell those. So I've got like 1 million carded grapplers and gimmicks and 1 million carded zombie sailors that I've been trying to sell for like a year. I've talked about it before, guys. If you are a reseller and you think you're going to buy extra, 3, 4 grapplers and gimmicks or 3 and 4 zombie sailor figures and you're going to double the price, it's not going to happen. So, these companies, they always send you these emails, get your figure before it runs out, right? Let's say I buy a Mark Merrill Red Trunks. I buy 2, one for my carded collection, one for my loose collection. Maybe a month or 2 later, get your figure before it runs out. You buy 2 more, not realizing you already bought it. A couple months after, you get that email again. Get it before it runs out. You buy 2 more. All of a sudden, you got 6 darn figures in your hand and no way to sell them. One is carded for my collection. One I open up loose for my collection. What do I do with the other 4? If people wanted these figures, they would buy them when these companies are selling them, but they don't buy them. So what they're hoping is we put them on eBay for like 99-cent auctions, and then they sell for like $15 or $20 because that's the value of the figures. They should not be selling for $40 or more. And this is what I was talking about. These companies, they do not give you refunds. Like if you overorder, if you make the mistake of overordering, oh, well, you order 4 figures, you're going to get 4 figures. Like I can't send 2 of them back or whatnot. And I'm stuck with, because I'm not taking a loss. I'm making that perfectly clear. If I buy something $40, I don't have to earn a profit on it, but I'm not going to just give away money, right? So if I buy it for 40, I like to make sure that my return is at least $40. And it's just never going to happen. So on eBay, I did list yesterday, I believe. Actually, I did list a Grapples and Gimmicks Red Trunks Mark Merrill. I listed a bunch of Mattel retros that I had duplicate that had been sitting for like a year or more. So I put those on 99-cent auctions on eBay. I'm hoping that they actually do sell for something and good money and not no $22, $23 because absolute waste. But they're not selling on eBay. Well, how else do I get rid of them?
Right. I'm going to get sponsored by Twax. Twax is the best marijuana cigarette infused Twax from Colorado. It's the shiznit. I got to throw out there. One Breaker needs a Twax sponsorship. This is the best fucking concentrate weed you can get, and it's awesome.
That's exactly what we gotta do. We gotta go marketing and see how the hell we get sponsors because all of these drinks that I have, all these drinks that I have on a weekly basis, somebody should be sponsored for these drinks. Hold on a sec. My wife needs me. What's up?
I found the babies.
Cool. Why are they?
I don't know. Morty came out from freaking nowhere in the middle of the goddamn living room like Jesus. And Summer came out from behind the couch, even though I looked back there, and she was just like...
Was she inside the couch?
Probably.
They hide inside the couch. They go behind the couch and they go into a little opening and sleep inside there.
I don't like that they're smart. I really don't like that they're smart.
Would you like to sit down and join us for the live stream?
No, I'm good.
But this is good storytelling.
I'll bet.
You gonna take the cubby with you?
Yeah. Come on, Carver. Meow, meow. Carver.
My wife is jealous because the babies love me.
They love you more. They love you more. They always love you.
She doesn't realize that I saved them from the outside, from threats, not only weather-like, but actual animal-like.
And animals.
Yes. Those little babies, they're so damn cute. Like when we first got them, like when you try to pet them, if they want to hiss at you, like that was like they did that for like a couple days and then stopped. They don't hiss at me. Or they finally slept on my wife while she was sleeping on the couch. I came downstairs. They see me. They spring into action, jump right up and come running to me. My little babies love me. Of all the damn cats we had, it's about damn time we get something that are mine. All right. Guts and Glory style. Who the hell are most of these people on here, man?
I don't know. It's crazy that there's a bunch of new people. I guess just because it's live and they're just probably cruising through the lives.
That's freaking weird. Like
And then the only people that we got that we know is but we Bum Shadows been here for a minute. Galactic Wrestling popped up here and there, and that
my
was
main,
about it, man.
yeah, L and Irish was always on. He is still on, of course. Let's see what L has to say. He says that retros can be resin, but the big figs need the feel of rubber. One of the reasons I love them, even though they don't have the million points of articulation that modern figs. I don't like the modern figs. Like any of your Jack Pacific, and I think Mattel kind of falls in the same category because their figures are very similar. And there are certain Mattel figures that I like. Like I like the retros. This Ultimate Edition, like with Hogan and Terry Funk, or with Bossman and Bigelow, with the Hart Foundation. I like those figures on card because they got the LGN card backing. But loose with all that, they would do nothing for me. They bring me no joy. I love them because of the box set they come in, because of the cards that they're on. So your Mattel Elites, Series 97, Series 125. Like I looked at that on like Ringside Collectibles, like maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, right? When I was trying to buy up some Elite figures for the collection, and I saw like Series 120 and et cetera. I'm like, oh hell no, I'm never gonna be able to complete this. These are selling for like 4 to 6 figures per series. No way, that's never gonna happen.
No, it's crazy. Hey
So
man, so since I'm the old guy and shit, I grew up on the LGNs and shit, right? So like, I'm a kid or whatever. LGNs are like the best thing ever. And then it was all sad when they went away and Hasbro like replaced them. Fucking now like Hasbro's better as an adult. You know what I mean? But as a kid, LGN's leaving it and Hasbro's coming was like heartbreaking. And then I don't know what the fuck why I started talking about this. And then Hasbro's quit and we didn't have wrestling figures forever. And then the Bendies came, and that was all right because at least we had something. And
yep.
but then they died or whatever the fuck, and then we got all these new school style figures. Well, first it started out with the Bone Crunchers, but they were pretty much just evolved into what we got now. You know what I mean? So. I was starving for wrestling figures and shit. By this time, I had a job and lived on my own and shit. And I'm an adult now. I can just piss all my money away on action figures and shit. And yeah, I was trying to get all those jacks, even though they suck. But like you were saying, there's so many of them that it's just you can't get them all.
When I started buying the black boxes, the Jack Pacific Classic Superstars, again, I don't like the figures. Inside the package, they look fantastic, but if I were displaying them loose, they would do nothing for me. I love the card box. I love the box set of the black classic superstars, so that's why they're one of my favorites because of that. I at one point I was buying those figures up like crazy, individual box sets, tag team sets, 3-packs, and I got up to like 150 box sets. And I'm like, damn, I got to be close to completing this collection. And when I actually did research, printed out, each series, each release, there was like over 500 figures. I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
And
This
they
is
were
way too
cool,
much.
man. And besides buying those, I was buying all those classic ones. I see you got a big collection of those, Stud DiBiase and all the 80s guys. But those two, they all sucked. I just wound up giving those to kids in the neighborhood that liked wrestling because fuck these figures. And I was
Yeah,
just buying them because that's all you could get at the time. They like a George Animal Steel and Captain Lou, the classic, and whoever else they made. It's like it's the only way you were gonna get the guys that you like and shit. As
yeah.
action figures.
Yeah.
So I was buying them, but fuck them. Fuck them.
You mentioned Bone Crunchers, and I've seen those figures, obviously since the start when I started collecting, and about 4 years ago. And I thought they were some of the ugliest, stupidest figures known to man. Man,
And then
I
you
thought they
open
were.
them brand new out of the package, and the fucking
Oh,
arms and legs are just all loose as fuck. That was so fucking lame.
I thought they were horrendous. But here's the thing: once I went to the figure collection store and started going through Wrestle Something Wrestlers and buying, their variations of the Bone Crunchers with like Atom Bomb and the Blue Meanie, for example, right? That right there, that's what got me loving Bone Crunchers, or at least, yeah, I would say I love the Bone Crunchers now. Like the figure collection store, their release of Bone Crunchers are amazing. And, they stand up on their own. They're nice, tight arms, just beautiful, right? So then I decided to go back and buy a lot of these carded bone crunching figures from like series 1, 2. I think I had 3 and 5, or at least most of them. I mean, I'm not picking up all of them because there's just way too damn many. And Jack Specific later on they move on to like the stupid stuff like Stomp and crap like that. I'm like, what is this crap? Like, what is this absolute? Like, what is this Stomp collection? Just so freaking weird. Like, I didn't want any of that junk. I mean, I do have some, of course, but I mean, that's just like being on eBay and just bidding on random stuff here and there. But I do have a new appreciation for Bone Crunchers. But initially, I mean, you buy them off eBay loose, like you said, they just spin around the waist. Just spins, legs, floppy. Just
they come out of the package like that. I couldn't believe it.
So they're pretty darn terrible. So Rebel says that you are welcome on his channel.
Right on.
Irish Rebel.
Well, come to my channel so I can find you because I'm an idiot, and then I'll click on your shit and check it out.
Who is corny? Am I reading that right? Damn, my eyesight is straight trash. This is why I got to use a computer most of the time because at least the writing is a whole lot bigger. Like I got to get like this close to the screen.
Yeah, I'm all blind too.
Oh man. I think he barely wants to do his 2 weekly podcasts, so he probably wouldn't come on. Hey, Kelly. We are hitting up the Maniac Riot Wrestling line, kind of talking about the different prototypes, right? Updates, posters, card backs, things of that nature. Factories or at least local customizers who can create these lines. So that's kind of like the big update right now. Dude, we haven't even hit on the horror aspect of the channel yet.
Someone wrote, the last guy wrote, you know what makes you go blind, right?
Yeah. United States Army. The United States Army made me freaking blind. I had freaking LASIK surgery in Killeen, Texas, while I was on Fort Hood. So Darnell Hospital, they, the hospital on Fort Hood, they're the one that did my LASIK surgery. And whatever the hell they did to my eyes, they changed my vision. Before I was able to see just fine, right? I mean, letters and numbers will be super small or smaller, but legible. Today, you see how big this drink is, right? Looking at this, it's not crystal clear. It's a little bit blurry. So, like, if I wanted to read any of this stuff down here, I got to be that close, and it's still blurry to me. So yeah, the Darnell Hospital doctors, those mofos, destroyed my vision. I mean, I thought I had good vision, but I wanted to improve my vision so it was 20/20, so it was perfect. My eyesight hasn't been the same since. And the stupid VA, they won't give me my damn credit for being blind because of the Army. Oh God, well, that's okay, man. We'll move on.
There's some good little wrestling talk for a minute. The bot, that's a crazy gimmick, but the 3 matches of all time, and then I can't remember who. I can't read the names and shit. Some of the people are writing like Flair versus Steamboat and shit like that. And then that's what I was reading that, and I wanted to say this for some dumb reason. Remember when Ricky Steamboat, when Randy Savage crushed his larynx with their fucking ring bell and shit, and then fucking and then Bruno Sammartino was in the background, was in the back with the microphone, and he told Randy Savage, "Why'd you do that?" or whatever the fuck, and then Randy Savage was all, "Oh, I'm happy about it," and then Bruno Sammartino was, "Oh, you happy about it? You slime," and and he punched him and shit, and Bruno called somebody a son of a bitch. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. Look that up on YouTube when Ricky Steamboat got his larynx crushed, and Dino Bravo is, and David Bruno Sammartino is talking to Randy Savage in the back. It's greatness.
So he was like legitimately pissed though, but not like
He
kayfabe
was the
pissed.
interviewer guy, yeah, and Randy Savage just got done fucking Ricky Steamboat up with the ring bell. That's when Ricky Steamboat lost his voice. He couldn't talk for a while. Remember that stupid shit?
I've heard about it. I've heard other channels
when it
talk about
first
it, but like,
happened, when it first happened, find this. It's totally worth it. When it first happened, then Bruno is in a suit with the microphone because he was on commentary, whatever, and he stops Randy Savage in the locker room, and he's like, "You hurt Ricky Steamboat, blah blah blah." And then Randy Savage is all, "I'm happy about it," and Bruno just gets pissed off and says, "You're happy about it? You slime, you son of a bitch!" It's awesome.
that is funny as hell.
So when they were talking about the best matches and shit, I don't know. That was one of the greatest moments in wrestling history, right there.
I saw this video. Like, I don't remember the match myself, but I just saw a Facebook reel of it. Bret Hart versus the 1-2-3 Kid, and seeing those two guys work in tandem, see those guys battle in the ring, like the technical skills of those two wrestlers, I feel are like unmatched, and I think they were a perfect, complement to one another for opponents. And now, if you were having like a WrestleMania heavyweight title bout and it was like Bret Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid, I don't think a lot of people have been super excited about that. Like 1-2-3 Kid was a great wrestler, huge fan favorite, but at the same time, like he didn't have the staying power of someone like a Yokozuna or a Diesel, in my opinion. So, but man, just watching like that quick 2-minute clip or whatever, just to see the way that they kind of did these different holds and got out of the holds, like I thought that was so incredibly good. I would go back
I'd
and
say
love to watch
1-2-3
that match.
Kid is a legit legend. 1-2-3 Kid, X-Pac, all
Yeah.
that shit's good. He's still good to watch.
So L is asking about a generator. So going into the summer, L, here's the thing. I said I paid off my house, right? I paid off my house in June. And 30-year mortgage, I got it paid off in, what was it, 6 years, 6.5 years, something like that. But I spent from 2010 to early 2022, I spent all that time in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Kuwait, right? So I had this account set up with all my savings over the years. I had the 401k from all these companies established. So I had so much money put away for this stuff. And when I finally got to a point where I had enough money in these accounts, I pulled out my 401k and paid off my house. And I still had a little bit left over, actually, I think. Maybe not. Irrelevant. And then I said, you know what? I was going to spend all summer fixing up my house. Now, my house falling apart? No. When I say fixing it up, I mean there's upgrades I wanted. Like there wasn't a lot of lighting in my garage. So I had recessed lights put in the garage. I had recessed lights put in the storage room. I got a new swimming pool put in. I'm getting a new pool deck built in. That deck is freaking huge. I redid my upstairs deck patio. Remodeled the upstairs bathroom. Well, one of the upstairs bathrooms. On Friday, they're going to be installing a new metal roof, which is freaking more expensive than most of your high dollar SUVs. I didn't realize a damn house roof was going to be that expensive. I thought to reshingle or re-roof your house would be like $5,000. It's like
Yeah,
10.
dude. I'm getting a roof like any day now. They're gonna come start doing the roof over here.
But
Yeah,
dude,
it's crazy.
I thought roofs were like $5,000, and then they give me a price 10 times.
When you were a kid, do you remember the parents being excited because they were getting a new roof and they were going to get like a couple $1,000s off the top of it in their pockets? Do you remember when life was like that?
Shoot.
Or no?
No, my family never redid anything. Shoot. The best.
Yeah, I remember like my parents and my friends' parents. like they'd get a new roof and they'd be telling like me or their fucking kid like, oh yeah, when I get that check from the new roof, I'll buy you a Nintendo or something fucking expensive because they were getting a new roof and it was a good thing because you're gonna get a new roof and like a couple thousand. But like you were saying, man, I expected. I knew it wasn't like that no more, but I expected like 5,000, maybe 7,000. No, it's like fucking crazy. And then they all tell you different prices, and it's insane.
The house I grew up in. So I didn't know what kind of house it was. Like I go on Zillow, especially when I'm on deployment. I go on Zillow or these different houses, and I like looking at houses. I like house hunters and things like that. It just brings me joy. So I looked at my house in Chicago, and I found out that the house we used to live in was a bungalow, and I think my mom bought that house in like 1992 for like $130,000. And I was looking at that Zillow website for the purchase for past purchases. I'm like, wait a minute. My mom told us growing up that this house cost her $250,000. So where are they getting 130 from? But growing up, like the only upgrades, and I'll put a quote around upgrades that my mom ever made to the house. And to me, it wasn't an upgrade; it was a severe downgrade. She destroyed our backyard. Like we had this huge, big backyard, fenced in the yard, and she basically tore it all up. In the front part of the yard, she just laid down cement, so it was all concrete. In the back, she built a garage. We also had, when you open up the gate going outside, we had this like nice little basketball court, and basically by building the garage, it basically cut that basketball court in half. So the basketball hoop and whatnot was basically unusable anymore. But we used to have a lot of fun playing basketball out there. And, my mom obviously would park because that's a parking spot. And every time we'd come back from like grocery shopping or going out shop, whatever, we come back, there'd be like all these neighborhood kids in our area playing basketball. So we get ready to pull in and all these kids have to start scrambling. But she did that, and she had like this big patio porch to the backyard where before it just had stairs leading up to the back door. So I think that was impressive. And that porch, my brothers and I, we used to use it as a wrestling ring. So that was really fun, but there really wasn't a lot of upgrades when I was a kid. And I see all the stuff I do now as an adult. I mean, yeah, my career has been far more successful, different universe in terms of, my family, my mom, whatnot, growing up, but still. Because this damn pool deck, though, for me was so freaking expensive, that's why I can't do the 25 grand for Alibaba for the 500 figures. Because originally that money was allocated to that, but yeah, they really screwed me on that damn deck. I mean,
Bum Shadows and somebody else talking about the finishing maneuvers is some pretty entertaining stuff.
Yeah, I think you're like way at the end. I'm like right in the middle. So I think
just get to the end.
Yeah, so I think it's good that we're kind of splitting it up so that we're both answering questions. So I got a generator a few years ago. Power outage since I bought it. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Like I don't want to spend. How much is a generator? Like $1,500, $2,500, $5,000. I mean, it depends on the size, I guess, of what generator you buy. But I'm gonna say a small generator is probably at least $1,500. And how often are you actually going to use it? Your power goes out for like 3 hours. Is that reason or is that cause for, bringing up a generator? Now, so I had a flood in my house in January of 2023. I think in February of 2023, my wife and I had to go live in a hotel for a few days because there was another huge power outage in our area, and we didn't have electricity for several days. So my wife and I, we took the cats. We went to a hotel to stay. Not my choice. Me personally, I would have stayed in the house, froze my ass off, when my phone needed to be charged, I would have drove to Walmart and plugged my phone in over there, or something like that, right? But no, she wanted to stay at a hotel with power and all that. So I'm like, okay, that's so we got a hotel for a few days. But something like that is so rare. That would be reason that you would actually get. All right, it did it to me again. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So it like stopped, it circled around, and now the time is showing 12 seconds right now instead of like the hour 45 minutes or so it was before. This is so weird.
You know what? I'm gonna just take that as a I gotta go because I should go and do some like responsibilities. You know what I mean?
Cool,
Before it
cool.
gets all late.
Yeah, man. If you gotta go, I think we pretty much hit on everything, right? We didn't talk about the horror, so I probably got to edit my my title
And we
so that
talked
we're
about
just
the wrestlers. That was what we needed to talk about. We should have talked about them more, maybe, but whatever.
well. I mean, what else was on your mind, like design
We
wise,
got
or
we got a bunch of new fans tonight.
yeah, the quote fans really made it hard
Yeah,
to talk to and answer the legitimate responders,
maybe
right?
I'm purple because I'm Grimace's son underneath this lucha mask. The world will never know.
I like this response right here. Raw is a talk show interrupted by occasional mid card matches.
That's
That's what
very
I
true.
said. Back in like 98 or so, 97, 98, when I stopped watching wrestling. Why? Because it became nothing but a soap opera. Even over the years, like whenever I'm flipping through the channels and I'm like TNT, TS, whatever, and WWF pops up and I watch it for a few seconds or maybe a few minutes, every single time, like clockwork. Some guy in the ring on the mic, blah, 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 complaining about something. I'm like, dude, this is a freaking soap opera. This is so annoying. It just wasn't fun to watch anymore. It wasn't a good show. Like there was actual storytelling and interest that keep the fans, piqued, have to pick their interest in the 80s and early 90s. But this 2000 stuff and later, it just became so boring. All right.
The Joe Glamour.
Mary Graham says, do a live review of her music. Cool, cool, cool. Hey, Dwayne, what's happening, buddy? I think I finally
Yeah, that's
reached
a
the point where I
long.
finally got to Bum Shadows.
Yeah, I
So,
was gonna say that music review thing was a long time ago.
yeah, man,
There's
like,
a lot of chat shit going on though, man. The chat was moving at a reasonable speed.
right. I thought you did. So I think you read all these, right? From
Yeah, I just skipped around, but whatever.
So I want to make sure that we kind of like hit on every comment or at least close to it. The coconut to the head of Snuka was crazy. I didn't think I even remembered that. Like that was probably before my time. Like what was that, 1984 or something? When
Yeah,
yeah, so like I
around
wasn't
that
even
time
born yet when that
exactly.
happened. Like I was watching Jason's show, and that's where I kind of learned about the whole coconut incident. But I went back on YouTube and watched that. I'm like, this is a little bit more subdued than I thought. Like I remember Jason talking about it, like he made it sound like it was like, but then again, he probably talks about the coconut incident the same way I talk about the Rockers incident, being as a kid being very traumatic to watch. But when you watch as an adult, it's a lot more subdued than you realize. uh, let's see. Corny as in cornet. Gotcha. Had a big takedown of Power Town. Like, are they still in business, man? Like, in all honesty, like you hear guys like Matt Cardone talk about it on the Major Wrestling podcast. You hear, Kyle Peterson talk about them. You watch the actual interview with Gagne and who was the other guy that was on there? Was it Magnum TA? I think it's the other guy that's involved.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't even. To
I
be
know
honest,
those two are though.
like I didn't even watch that interview. I watched Kyle Peterson's review because I was more interested in what he had to say than hearing some, corporation speak for the most part, right? And he pretty much hit on a lot of topics and like, look, these guys are pretty much scared to give an open, honest answer. And when your company is failing, there's really not much you can say. So that's why I was kind of more interested in what like what he had to say, what he had to say on the matter, than hearing what Power Town was talking about. I didn't need to hear all that fluff, right? So I think the booze is finally kicking in. So for you guys that are tuning in to see me drunk, I think in the next half hour or so, I might actually pass out on stream. And then I got BBA standing there like, hey, wake your ass up.
We got Randy Davis keeps on saying shit about Randy the Ram, and I agree, Randy the Ram forever.
Big rubber guys. So big rubber guys. It doesn't have to be big rubber guys, but I mean, I think they would probably be the best option. Big rubber guys of guys like Okerlund and I don't know. Do we are they coming out with like Lord Alfred Hayes and guys like that, and like Mooney and those type of folks? Because having them in retro form is one thing. Do we need an LJN of those type of characters? But
I know that I hate Lord Alfred Hayes in any fucking form.
I mean, I like hearing him talk when they're like in England, right? And they're doing like battle royals or something. Like that's a lot of fun because that kind of puts him at home and whatnot. So that's a lot more interesting. But I don't know, because Fuji already exists in LGN. Do we need another Fuji? Probably not. But if they come out with Fuji a la Yokozuna manager, I think that would be different. That would be nice. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Yokozuna figure released, and in that same series, possibly getting both Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji, and maybe like and maybe a fourth character, maybe a Bret Hart or a Hulk Hogan, only because those are like the two guys he won his championship from, right? So maybe a WrestleMania 10, I think it was, red outfit Hulk Hogan, but it's got to be different than his Series 5 LJN. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing that exact same figure made over and over again. Bigger guys. Oh man, Sonny in prison outfit. They keep showing pictures of Sonny in the 90s where like she was like the heartthrob that everybody was just so in love with. And then they show that picture of her in prison outfit. She's like what, 50 now or something? And if she's not 50, I mean, she really looks she hasn't aged well. Was it Sonny?
She was so,
yeah, I think it was.
So even before right now, she started going downhill. Since she started doing pornos and stuff. Even her porn, when she's not all big and fat like she is now, she still wasn't good looking. But when she was in WWF, she was like probably the hottest chick ever made.
But I think it would be interesting if like Big Rubber Guys came out with like an all-female series. Like I said, some of the names I mentioned earlier, like Trish Stratus, maybe Sunny, maybe China, definitely. And who could be the fourth? Sable, maybe. I think those would be pretty cool. Or come out with like who the hell is the Vince McMahon's daughter? Jesus Christ. I'm drawing a blank.
Stephanie.
Thank you.
Stephanie.
Like I'm not that drunk. Like how the hell did I forget that name? Or maybe a Stephanie McMahon figure. That would be pretty cool.
Come out with the Oink Cats. Do you remember the Oink Cats?
I don't think so.
The Oink Cats and Jameson. Remember when Bobby Heenan had his talk show for like 15 minutes after primetime wrestling or whatever the fuck it was called at the time? Yeah, I know, it was dumb.
Absolutely. All right, just going through all these comments. Make sure answer everybody's comments too, so that I don't miss anybody. Yeah, I can't do just loose figures. Like to me, the carded pieces are where the value lies, and I just like them on cards. So I only started opening up like in the last couple years to have 2 different collections worth. Uh, what's up with what's with all these comments? Like, what did I watch or what did I walk into? Type of comments. That's awesome, though. Brady Davis. This was a fun one. I think I accidentally took an acid hit. How'd I get here? Hey,
That's what I
Brady,
said.
if you've got another, I'm interested in experimenting, damn it. If you got some more acid, send that stuff my way. I will literally do a live show where I am high on acid just for you for sending that to.
No,
Who,
that'd be
who, know,
pretty fucking crazy and amazing.
who,
That would
know,
break the internet.
who, who knows? I might just see Jesus that way. Brady, hit me up after the show. I will send you my address. I don't care. Like wrap that stuff up in a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, throw a stamp on that bitch, 50 cents or how much a stamp costs. I will do a live show just for you. Just make sure you get enough hits in there, damn it. Oh man. It's no fun that this guy gets to be freaking high on acid when we're not. I
Done a
like
lot
that.
of acid in my lifetime, and I'm too old for that shit.
So, Johnny, if you're still on here, man, you're asking about what I classify as strawberry milk. It's not. It's this stuff right here. It's Appalachian Sip and Cream Strawberry Dream. It is I don't know what kind of liquor. It says our Strawberry Dream Cream liquor roasts the oh shit. Boast the damn it. I'm not even that drunk, but damn. Boast the blissful taste of sweet strawberries and vanilla bean. Damn it. Now my eyes are playing tricks on me. I'm all over the place. If you get an alcohol sponsorship, you immediately should have that for your face. Yes.
Have what?
So Dwayne was saying that if we get a alcohol sponsorship, it needs to be part of the accessories.
Oh yeah.
You know how
These
like
comments keep on coming. I gotta go. I gotta go take care of real life, man. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
sign out, and then you can just keep going if you want.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you tuning in, bud. I'll
All
see you
right,
next week, I
man.
guess.
Yes, yes.
All right,
And I'll
awesome.
talk to you whenever, if anything, by then. Cool.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
BDA.
Later. Have fun.
Thanks, bud. Talk to you later, man.
We'll see if I can figure out how to get the F out of here.
Mm. Oh, that stuff is bad. I didn't pull out my energy drink or something as a chaser, so I'm a little bit struggling right now. Oh man. So what I was gonna say, you guys know how like G.I. Joe has like not action figures, right? Not even vehicles, but they have like this package, and all it is accessories, like bunch of rifles accessories or just bunch of mixed accessories. That's all it is. It's a package of accessories. I'm thinking if I come out with my own line, that's what I might do. Shoot. Maybe not release a dog action figure with BBA. Where the hell is he? A dog action figure with BBA, or an ice cream cone with BBA, or a weed cigarette stick for BBA, or a cane, or trident, or a pitchfork for the devil. Right? Maybe I take all those accessories, put them on a completely separate package individually. I mean, come on, guys. I said this is for all of us. This isn't, yes, it bears my name, but it's not my line. This is all of our lines. This is for everybody, right? You guys know if you have recommendations or critiques, let me know your thoughts, because if the people aren't interested in the product, they're not going to buy it. It's that simple. And we are still in the early phases of design. Like these right here, these were supposed to be the final product. They didn't come out to what I liked, right? Forget the fact that the resin, I paid for rubber, forget all that. There's still upgrades I need. Like tassels being connected to the mask, not the t-shirt. I don't know what that was all about. This wasn't my design. I know why they had to create this, because of the bubble, but this was not the figure I wanted, not even close. It was supposed to have an SD Jones left-hand choke slam. Look at the left hand in comparison, right? This right hand, because there's two left hands, I wanted to put the Greg Valentine on the right side. It's not even close to being the same, right? So there are a lot of upgrades I need to make. Given, for example, this figure, I'm remaking it with a new customizer, new designer. Still going with the SD Jones left hand and the Greg Valentine, but switched over from left to right. But even that is not perfect. Like right now, it's like this, I think. That is the pose. And it's not what I want, but for whatever reason, they can't get that Greg Valentine arm up to they can't get it up like here. So we'll see what happens with the design as we move forward. It's probably going to be custom, because I can't go through a damn legitimate factory to build it, because they are giving me the runaround every single time. Everything is an excuse. If you guys get on my Facebook, or if you guys get on my YouTube community notes, I put up pictures of the new 3D file for BBA's head mask. Look at that look at that design, and then look at this. Huge difference, right? If you've seen the new full body design of the devil, completely new figure essentially, right? So it's fun to talk about and to work on, but there's still a lot of work to go into it. We haven't even touched the other two figures yet, with Bone Breaking Action and with the Soldier, or excuse me, with the New Age Revolution and the Soldier. So, but the Soldier, when I got this one, this was supposed to be just for me, right? Technically, the ACU version. I wanted Hulk Hogan fighting pose, and it just didn't come out the way I wanted. So this was supposed to be my ideal, perfect figure, and it missed the mark in that respect. What do I keep saying? For custom figures, they are amazing. For a product that I want to release, no. This isn't something that I would sell to the open market. I think there's a lot of work to be done. So I know BBA was looking at the bottom of these messages while I was looking at the top of the messages. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these messages have already been answered, but I'm still gonna hit on them while I'm on here with you guys. Quit touching your beard. It's weird. Dude, you're lucky my beard ain't down to here, because then I'd be sitting there, yeah. Or all right, now I'm just being stupid. Man. All right, I'll stop for now. Oh, here I am. Here I'm doing it again. Natural Libre. If Freddy for Gorgon, I got burnt. Sink here after losing one too many matches. Oh shoot, what am I doing? I don't think you have that singing on stream. Probably not. So I'm going through these messages. It's like I know I was way behind, so I'm trying to go through the messages as quickly as I can to see if there's like any huge topic of discussion I could dive into. Why do I keep doing that? Stop, go away. Yeah, some of these freaking comments are weird as shit. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how to respond to some of this stuff. Make a jobber fig for me. Hey, hey, it's possible, bud. Shoot. Um, there are a couple additional designs I would like to make. I haven't posted a picture of the pirate. I keep talking about this pirate character that's going to be part of the line, or that I want part of the line. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are thinking, like, well, who the hell is this pirate? Give me some kind of specs. Well, online or on the internet, I found this picture of this pirate. It's like an AI picture, whatever. It looks freaking cool, right? And for the foul mouthed drunkard, I thought that was a perfect look. The fact that he was a pirate was just, I don't know, bonus if you want to call it that way. But it was the right look for that particular character. You guys know my original design was not this was for one figure, right? It wasn't supposed to be this. The figures were supposed to be like so, and you were supposed to have basically the figures on the card like so. Obviously, this would be a lot bigger. The whole bubble and everything would come up to here, whatnot. So, but that was the original plan. So, I'm bouncing around, guys. I got these guys everywhere. So when you have Jason Nupp, right? And he was supposed to square off against the foul-mouthed drunkard. That pirate figure as on a 2-pack was going to be insanely good. I talked to Ahmad over at Latuni, and he said, "Look, if you're just starting your line, this was a few months back. If you're just starting your line, don't do a 2-pack for $100 because they probably won't sell for $100. He sells his figures for $50, right? But I gotta look at it like, hey, we're getting 2 figures, $50 each, $100 makes sense. Now I'm realizing, hey, we really only could do 1 figure at a time for $100. So that whole estimation that I was gonna do a 2-pack for have these actual grudge matches. There's a reason it says grudge match on the back, right? Because they were supposed to be intended 2-packs. Actually, this was the only single figure. Jason Nupp versus the pirate 2-pack grudge match. Break Action versus the devil 2-pack grudge match. That was the plan. But even though when I talked to my customizer, who the original designer, right, I let him know, hey, I wanted it to be a 2-pack. Like that, I don't know how many times I've said that verbally, wrote it in text message. This is a 2-pack, but this is what we got. So, and again, these were all supposed to be rubber, right? They're all resin. So there are a lot of things I paid into that I didn't get what I paid for, that I'm very disappointed in. And that's why I'm constantly looking around, constantly asking others, try to learn as much as I can, try and get as much information, because I want the buyers to get the best product. Even if you only buy one item from me, I want to make sure that your experience is fantastic, right? So, but as far as creating a jobber L, maybe. If I create 3 or 4 random characters over the years, I think I'd like to get with Bum Shadows, obviously. I think Forget Me as a pirate, maybe him as that pirate figure that I was thinking about. I mean, he's got a loyal fan base too. He's got a huge, subscriber count. He's like right up there with Jason Nupp. So Jason Nupp versus Bum Shadows, that could be a potential. But last year I started the storyline that me and Jason were in, like this battle, right? This whole YouTube squabble. So that was kind of like the setup for the Jason Nupp versus the foul mouthed drunkard, this asshole. And so this is like a year in the works, coming up with this idea and this drawdown, this drop to this particular release. And having Dwayne versus Jason, it just doesn't make sense, but we might have to go that route. Legend version. I'm trying to get more of a popular so Bum Shadows has a sort of audience to buy it. Has some sort of audience. No, man, shoot. I mean, you are like what? Like I said, you're like right up there with Jason, dude. So like I think you have enough of an audience where people would buy your figure. Now, can I go out and go to Alibaba, buy 500 units and think that they're going to sell out overnight? Probably not. But if I do work with Nick over at Lady Lux Leather and we're able to get, let's say, 50 figures, right? And let's say we're only doing 10 at a time, that's fine. Let my viewers know, let my buyers know, hey, I got 10 figures of this character available for purchase. Maybe it sells out immediately. I can reach out back to Nick. Hey man, I'm ready for another 10 figures, etc. But because the price he gave me for mold is a lot cheaper than I was expecting from, like, let's say XOX Customs, and I might be able to say, hey, let's just bite the bullet. Let's buy the mold for all 4 figures. At least have them available, ready to go, so that they could be painted and shipped when ready. Brady, that busted Stretch Armstrong, man. You know what? I'm almost tempted to take you up on your offer. A few months back, I did purchase a number of Stretch Armstrong figures. Not wrestling related, but you know what? It's childhood. It's nostalgia. It's memories. I was on eBay several months ago, came across Stretch Armstrong from like the 1970s, and I'm like, no shit. Like I knew the Stretch Armstrong I had could not have possibly been that old. I remember having a Stretch Armstrong in the 90s along with his dog Fetch Armstrong. So, and I told the story before, and I kind of gave Fetch an actual burial. Like, we had this little box, right, about yay big, and when you stretch the dog way too far, eventually it'll rip in the middle, and there's like all this glue gel all over the place, right? So, in my estimation, the dog died. So I put him in this box. I buried him in my front yard. Not because it meant anything special to me or anything, just because I was being stupid and just having fun with it. So they're both carded as well as boxed figures from the 90s. I got a bunch of those a couple months back. So those are actually holy grail items for me. They're not wrestling holy grails, but they are holy grails for that particular line. And at some point during my YouTube short videos, I am going to talk about each one of those as well. Who is the most legendary luchador of all time? Bone breaking action. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not drunk, just bad typing. Latuni Thigs feels so good though that I'm trying to get all the machos, even if they're the same pose. Got 3 already. Man, I think they're nice pickups, man. Like, the only bad thing is the fact that they are the same exact pose. Like, I would not mind if they were different pieces, but the fact that they're all the same, that's just that drives me nuts. And you guys know I'm like the biggest Latuni fan that there is. So and AJ, whenever he has like new promo videos, like new commercial types or new figures, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, here's the first look, etc. I got that Inoki figure, factory prototype. I mean, the man, he's looking out for me as well, keeping me in the loop. I think that's incredible. One of these days, I might ask AJ if he'll sit in on a live stream with me, and we could talk Latuni, maybe talk about my own line, and I think that'd be fun. I mean, I wouldn't want to keep him all day, so we're not looking at no 2-3 hour live stream. It might be 45 minutes to an hour, but I'm sure if I talked to him one day, he wouldn't mind sitting in on a live stream, and I could probably have some preset questions for him. All right. As I'm literally getting a Latuni shipment tomorrow. Yeah, I just got another notification from Latuni, so I should be getting, I think, Yellow Trunks Macho Man. I don't remember if that's the Hasbro style Macho Man or the LJN style Macho Man. I think I ordered both. So I'm not sure which version's coming in, but hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have that one in. Can't pick up the blue macho anymore. Latuni sold it out. I think they only had 100. And I think that's the only reason they sold out is because they had 100, not 500 units. But I think that's such a unique figure. I could see that one going on eBay nowadays for $200. And you get on Facebook and you see all these, like, whenever what's that website called? Articulation 3D something articulation. I forget what they're called. I'm subscribed to their Facebook, so I always get things from them as well on my Facebook feed, right? And people are always complaining about the blue Macho Man. They're complaining about the black Macho Man. Blue Macho Man sold out. It's only gonna be a matter of time before the black Macho Man sells out when the time comes. I don't think he's gonna get all the pre-orders he wants. Like if he has 100 figures, he might get 25 to 75 pre-orders. The others, they're gonna sell out later on when guys like me do reviews, whatever. Or if the guys jump on the website, they just want to buy it. But those $100 figure or $50 figures that nobody wants, that everybody's bitching and complaining about, guess what? They're gonna be up on eBay in the next 6 months to a year, selling for $200, $250. Demolition, Big Rubber Guys, Series 2. Still my favorite release from Big Rubber Guys. The Series 2 Axe and Smash. $50 figures. At the time, you could even purchase them off of Ringside Collectibles, $50. Today, those are $200 to $250 a piece. Not even both, but individually. So I think the Blue Macho Man is going to fall in that line. I think Black Macho Man. I think the blue has more of an aesthetic to it, more appreciation than the black. So I think the blue will probably be more valuable, but I see the black being that $200 figure in the future as well. So I think for Platoonie, that's pretty nice. And I like when Matt Cardona, like when he looks at his figures, right, and he sees these figures selling on eBay for like $200, $300, like he's excited about that. And I think that I'd feel the same way if like my line, if I sell it for like $100 and I see 6 months down the road that they're selling for like $500 for $300, knowing that there's that type of love, that type of demand for the figures, that they've gone up that much in value. But then you look at like Grapples and Gimmicks, right? All their figures, $40. But then you see people trying to resell them online, $60, $75, $90 for that same exact figure. And now what's happening? Grapples and Gimmicks, they're looking at eBay sales and they're raising their prices, screwing their customers. Like their mail away Men on a Mission figures, the sort of bluish purple type of figures, right? They were as a 2-pack, they weren't packed. They were in these plastic, wrapped up in little plastic baggies, the same as like the Hasbro mailways. And I think they were selling for like $150 on their website at the time. Later on, they're up on eBay. They're selling for $250, $300. So when Grapples and Gimmicks got more figures in, what did they do? List them for that same $150 they originally did? No, they brought the price up to $250 for those two figures because that's basically what they were selling for on eBay. And I'm like, come on, man, you're already ripping off your customers, selling these for what you were, and now you're trying to go off of eBay prices. The average fan cannot buy from these companies because they're just so ludicrous with their prices. I kind of feel like if all my figures are selling for a great price and I get them from the factory, right, and I'm selling for $100, maybe I can have like I was thinking my birthday's in February, maybe like a February, birthday discount type of deal where they're 50% off and I can sell them for $50. So I'm kind of like thinking about other ideas where I can not only sell my product, but give my buyers the best deal possible. So, but I'm not going to screw anybody over and make them pay more than they have to. I obviously need to make a profit because it's a business. I have to earn something, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not screwing over my viewers, screwing over my buyers, because you do that one time, they won't stick with you. You give them the best product, the best service possible, you pretty much have a repeat buyer for life. All right. Camp. I saw that one. Red Rooster. Madam Cheddars has Red Rooster. I wouldn't make Red Rooster myself. Bastion Booger. That is someone I would love to make as LJN. I think LJN Customs, but what do they do? Bastion Booger, Yokozuna, Typhoon, Earthquake, all these big set guys, they use a King Kong Bundy custom, King Kong Bundy LJN. They customize it. And I'm like, no, that's not Yokozuna. That's not Earthquake. I want somebody different. I want a unique individual mold of these guys. Bastion Booger, that's a great freaking example, though. I would love that. Again, if I am successful and I can make a legitimate business out of this in Series 2, I will do the needful, man. I will reach out to these families or whoever I need to see if I can get a contract with them, like legal contract. China is someone I would love to see in Series 2. Bastion Booger, I would love to see in Series 2. I would die to make me a legitimate Yokozuna figure. I would die to make myself a legitimate Giant Gonzalez figure. So that's already 4 pieces I would love to make. Oh, nails. I think nails will be a killer. There is a custom nails. I think Kevin Pelkey designed it, if I'm not mistaken. Either Kevin Pelkey or Zash Man. I'm not sure which one. Awesome figure. Obviously, if I create nails, I would have to come up with a completely different fighting pose. Problem. Giant Gonzalez custom exists. Yokozuna customs exist out there. Nails, as I just described, exist out there. I don't want to create something that already is out on the market, but I want those characters. So I'm kind of torn in between, being separate from everyone else and wanting to at least create specific characters. But at least that'll give us legitimate WWF wrestlers, right? So you put on your head. Seen that one already? Coming out of pocket. I don't know why that's gross. Pocket pool, huh? Have you heard of that stuff, Velcro? Such a ripoff. All right. So I'm going through the comments. I'm trying to respond to the legitimate comments. So stupid. It's all this stuff. Just keep the dogs away from the LGN figures. Oh man. Well, shoot, man. Like it's AL. Like this stuff isn't like the most alcohol content in the world. Like those other drinks I have like 80 proof and like 115 proof. That 115 proof, you take two shot glasses, you're past the FL. This stuff doesn't have the most alcohol content in the world. Like I think these 2 bottles were 17% alcohol per volume. So like you would have to drink half this bottle to get drunk. This stuff I'd probably have to drink the entire bottle to even get a hint of drunkenness out of it. But when I'm on a dual live stream with someone else, I try to limit the alcohol content because I didn't want to be passing out while I'm in the middle of talking, like BBA, for example. And then, I just kind of like doze off. And then, like, 5 minutes later, Bumbright Ash is talking. And, like, this motherfucker hasn't moved in like 5 minutes. What the hell's going on? Hey, fucktard, wake up. Let me see what one of those figures look like. Thank you. Let me see what one of those figures look like. Hey, Breaks. I don't know which one you were talking about. So this was the original plan. the Jason Nupp New 80s Revolution. The next release I was coming out with was Bone Breaking Action. He's got a couple different variants though. So purple mask as well as red mask, or excuse me, green mask. But again, we're gonna redo pretty much all of these because we got to make them a little bit better. Not only make them rubber, but we got to make the sculpt look better. Like the horns, they're just like so, right? The new prototype that I have being made, the horns actually stick out, so they're actually going to look really sharp. And the fighting pose is actually going to be a playable wrestling action figure. This right here displays incredibly well for, like I said, for display piece. Beautiful, awesome piece of art. But if you're giving these to your kids for a play, it's not going to work. If you're an adult, you display these, but you still if you're like me, you enjoy that, childhood mentality where you love fighting poses, this does not work. I'm all about fighting poses. It's the number one thing I gravitate towards. And this right here, play pose, it's not good. The other two, so this was the original design, right? With Army combat uniform, but the paint application on this does not match the actual uniform at all, or very vaguely. So this had to be improved. Now, I'm looking at the arm. I don't see a combat patch on this figure, but they did put the combat patch on this one. Problem is, the combat patch goes above the flag. When there's no combat patch, it's just a flag, right? And then the unit patch over here. So then you got your nameplate, U.S. Army, right? So that all bleeds in. Those have all been improvements compared to the original release. But the desert camouflage uniform, it's not an army uniform, at least a modern day, camouflage uniform. This is actually looks more like kind of like Desert Shield, Desert Storm colors, more detailed that way. But even Desert Shield, I think even that stuff was the same uniform I wore in Iraq in 2005, 2006, and again in 08, 09. So whenever I went on combat deployment, I always wore my DCUs. I rarely ever wore ACUs during that period. But like I said, this is the one I'm most excited about, the Bone Breaking Action release. Take out an extra mortgage. Damn, dude, you're not even kidding, man. That's freaking crazy, but that's what it feels like. Do I want to talk about it, or should I respectfully talk about it? So Mitch, obviously, I'm pretty sure anybody that buys from him knows his deal. He lost his wife not too long ago, and the releases for Kevin Nash were going to be to go towards his wife's fund. Very respectful reason to buy the figures and invest in those products for him, but at the same time, as fans, as buyers, as collectors, you're almost doubling the price of something that's already doubled more than what it should be. Mattel Retros, $15 a piece, right? You buy a 4-pack, $60. That's why everyone's going for Mattel Retros. But when you look at these other companies and they're charging you $40, it's just not valuable. If I get into the retro line and I'm starting to make my own Hasbro style figures, let's say I'm like, you know what? I'm out of the game. I'm not making LGNs. I'm making Hasbro figures now. What am I going to sell them for? Realistically, to keep up with the market, around $20. That's what I would like to sell them for. I would like to sell these for $50. I can't. I have to. I'm forced to sell them for $100. So if I make Hasbro style figures and I want to sell them for $20, guess what? I can't. I'm doing what every other company on the planet is doing, and I'm going to have to charge $40. And then I'd be like a total two-face in that respect, right? Because how can I say that these are overcharged and then do the same thing? That's why that's why I like doing these live streams. I like talking to you guys and giving you updates and telling you my rationale. That way, it kind of gives you an update of what's happening. And when the time comes, hopefully you understand why that they're priced the way they are. I love Hasbro. It's my favorite line. It's what I grew up with. But there are just 10 gazillion Hasbro style figures being made, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. LJN, you got Latuni right now. You got Big Rubber guys. Yes, Mattel superstars are coming into play, but how many releases are they going to come out with? One series a year, maybe a couple series a year. I mean, I think I could pretty much compete with that. So, especially considering my line is completely different than what anyone else is making. So, all right. You know what would make you camera better? The arch behind you have that room light bulb and when. All right. Still going through the comments, guys. This purple Some. All right. It looks like a majority of my regulars are out, so all right, guys. I think that's pretty much I've talked about everything I wanted to. Now I wanted to talk about like horror movies and stuff today. I'm gonna have to edit my title because it's not gonna be part of this discussion today. I'm just trying to make sure I go through all the comments just so I don't miss anything in case anybody has something that they asked that they want to know about or something. Um yeah, damn. I gotta go through these a little bit better because all right, guys. I think I'm about to call it a day. Trying to go through the comments and it doesn't look like there's anything of value here. Let me skip all the way to the holy shit. I'm just looking all the way at the bottom. I'm like a million messages behind. So I'm gonna skip all the way to the bottom, guys, because I feel like that's where the actual comments are. Hey Joe, I see you, man. I'm trying, bud. So, and I'm gonna provide you guys weekly updates as well. So you guys will always be in the loop. Hey, Dwayne, anytime, bud. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. What the hell is this? Someone said, oh, someone said yell. I thought someone said you said. All right, someone said yell hard R for $290. Hey, don't play me. You know I'm a whore. I probably would. No, I wouldn't. I have too much respect to do that. But I am a whore. I would definitely. Let me tell you guys a story. Nah, damn, nah. That's a good story, but nah, I'm not gonna tell that story right now. That story I am going to save for my regulars who watch me every week and who tune in. But as far as whoring myself out for whatever, it's a good story to talk about. But I'm not going to talk about it today. I guess somebody's just going to have to tune in next week and see what happens, or possibly tune in on Saturday to my individual live stream and probably ask the question, "Hey, what was that topic you were talking about on Wednesday about, selling yourself, basically?" I'm good. I'm not good. I think the booze is finally kicked in. Hey, I see you, buddy, man. uh, I want to tell that story, but damn, I don't want to do it right now, though. Sorry, guys. There's too many trolls in the comments in order to keep going with that story. But next time we go live, folks, I'll embarrass the hell out of myself and tell one of the most embarrassing stories ever. But there's reasons behind my madness. There's always reason behind any madness anything I say, anything I do, right? So, all right. The white. Oh god. Oh man, I gotta blow my nose. That was funny as hell. Not only gotta have the drinking water, but now we gotta have the street walk. Dude, I got a freaking image in my head right now. And I gotta say, that figure is freaking lit. Uh AL, absolutely, bud. And hopefully, so shit, damn. The last time I tried doing a live stream where I tried showing like a Royal Rumble in the background, right? And that damn video had like almost 1,000 freaking views. Like that damn live stream was killing it. And fucking YouTube, the bastards, they dicked me out like 52 minutes into the live stream. Copyrighted material, blah blah blah. They deleted my live stream. So got it. I can't do wrestling ever because those assholes always screw me over. How about baseball? Can I do a sort of Cubs versus Padres watch along and actually show the Cubs game? Or is YouTube going to block that as well because it's copyrighted material? But I mean, baseball is open to the public, especially since it's on ABC. It's not on some kind of streaming service or something, right? I mean, ABC is like open to everybody. Everyone on the planet has ABC. So I don't know. I want to do a watch along with Cubs versus Padres. I may not do a lot of commentary, or I might do a lot of I don't know. But I think the next game is tomorrow. I think all three games are in back-to-back days. So uh, if you're available tomorrow, we'll see what happens with that. Can you live stream while watching a replay on the 2006? Interesting. I don't know. You guys know the story, right? I was in Afghanistan when the Cubs won the 2016 World Series. When Anthony Rizzo caught that last out, like I had to get up and kind of walk out of the room because I'm in that room. I'm surrounded by SF guys, right? And freaking tears came to my eyes. And the last thing you want to do is look like a little punk in front of all the team guys, right? So, but what Cubs fan ever thought that in their lifespan they would ever see a Cubs World Series championship? Whoever thought they would see the Cubs in the World Series, let alone win one? I was so freaking excited then. And I had to get out of the room because I started tearing up. I was so freaking excited, so happy. I had to go back to the office and call my wife and tell her good news. And I knew my mom grew up watching the Cubs, obviously being a Cubs fan, so I had to call her up, obviously, and talk to her. And congratulate her, I guess, for being a Cubs fan for so long, 70 plus years, whatever. Well, in 2016, she would have been like 66, so not 70 years at that time, but that would be something. I think Dexter Fowler, if I remember correctly, led off the ball game with the home run. I think Javi Baez homered in that game, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, what a freaking performance for both teams. There is a reason why I will always say the 2016 World Series will probably go down as the greatest World Series ever. All 7 games, they were competitive for the most part. Cubs were down 3-1 in the series. They came back to win the next 3. Like, you had that kind of confidence in the 2016 Cubs. I don't have that confidence in the 2025 Cubs. So after the Cubs took game 1, great. We're up in the series. That's what we needed. We didn't want to be down. Because what happened today? 3-0 shutout. I mean, the Cubs today were absolutely pathetic. There is no reason with this offense they should lose. They should not be able to score more than 3 runs. 3 runs is not a lot of runs for this type of offense, right? So I don't feel confident going into tomorrow's game. Going into the series against the Brewers, I don't feel confident. The Cubs could be up, 3 games to none, 2 games to none, in a best of 5, 3-0 in a best of 7, and I still wouldn't feel the most confidence in the world. Because last few months have really shown what this Cubs offense is. You don't score runs, you don't win the game. It's that simple. Pitching and defense wins games, sure. You don't hit the home run, you don't hit the bloop single, you don't draw the bases loaded walk. How do you expect to win a game? So that 2016 team was, I can't tell you what that team meant to me as a fan. So I think that's a great idea to live stream the 2016, at least game 7. But again, is that something that's that YouTube is going to come back and strike my account for? Oh yeah. So I just finished. Well, I didn't finish all of it, but you know what? I'll probably leave these drinks out. No, I won't. I'll leave the strawberry out here. The other 2 drinks I'll take downstairs. On Saturday, I'll go back to my regular big drinks, whiskey, vodka, something like that, right? So I'm going to have to go back and edit my title of this video, of this live stream, because obviously we didn't talk about any horror, which was supposed to be like the main concept of this Wednesday live stream, but we just got too involved in the wrestling stuff. And there was still a ton of stuff regarding the poster I want to talk about, but I think we pretty much hit on a lot of the topics already, and we're getting close to 3 hours, guys. So I think the last live stream dicked out at at 1 hour 45, and then reset it back to 0 because right now it's showing me 58 minutes, and so that put us at 2:45, whatever. I think that's enough time, right? Before I go, if anybody else has any other comments, anything else you'd like to talk about or hear about, let me know. I will talk about that. Otherwise, I'm pretty much going to end the live stream in the next coming moments. I'm just scrolling back up to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Get AJ from Latuni on your live stream. That would be awesome. Yeah, I really think it would be. So I got to talk to him and see what his interest would be. So I don't know. I guess I will try to risk it and tomorrow do a Cubs watch along. I mean, how many people actually tune into me to watch Cubs, right? But maybe. I mean, me jumping up, screaming, yelling at the Cubs, telling them how much they're freaking idiots, how Craig House's a moron, how Ian Happ sucks at number 3 hole. Maybe it would be a lot more fun than we imagine. I don't know. But if I can do a watch along tomorrow, we'll see if we can do a live stream then. Anyone that tunes in, please have real comments, something of value to add to the comment section, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of comments that I missed due to stupidity, whatever. So, guys, as always, thank you for yet another fun live stream. I'll see you guys on Saturday, and hit me up, Facebook or YouTube, if you have anything of interest that you'd like to talk about. So, thanks, thanks, guys. I will see y'all later. Now, how the hell do I exit out of here? Take care, guys. And that's not the exit. So, sorry, I'm still trying to learn. All right, I think I got it. Bye, guys.